Pegasus Sports Network is proud to present South Oldham Dragon football. Tonight, the Dragons, in a key district matchup, play host to the number 5 ranked Cooper Jaguars from Northern Kentucky. Tonight's game is brought to you by Mountjoy, Chilton & Medley, the largest locally owned CPA firm in North Central Kentucky. By www.buyhappyfeet.com. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows. By Baptist Health LaGrange, bringing quality health care close to you. By Office Max and your local Office Max Impress Business Center. At Office Max, your success is our business. And by Daleco Land Management Services right here in Crestwood. Give them a call today, 445-3100. That's Daleco Land Management Services. Now let's go high above the field in Crestwood, Kentucky, a soggy Dragon Stadium for tonight's broadcast of the Dragons against the Jaguars of Cooper. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dragon Stadium in Crestwood, Kentucky. It's homecoming 2014. It's going to be a wet one here. Welcome, as the Pegasus Sports Network is proud to bring you Dragon football on the Pegasus Sports Network. Hi, everyone. Along with our special guest announcer tonight, Steve Simpson, I'm Mike Montgomery. Glad to have you here with us tonight. And, it's... if you're not here at the ball field, well, shame on you. It is homecoming, and it's a big, big game here for South Oldham. But, it's a wet one, too. And if you're not here, well, we're glad you're here with us. And, Steve, glad to have you here with us tonight. Steve Simpson, the boys basketball coach here at South Oldham High School. Steve, I've always wanted to get you on a broadcast, but, usually you're on the sideline coaching the game, and you're just not available.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited to be here tonight. I've spent a lot of time up in this press box over the years, keeping the clock and stuff with freshman JV football, so I'm excited to be here. The stands are a little empty, but hopefully they'll fill up a little bit more as we go.
And you had a vested interest in watching these games a few years back. It hadn't been that long ago. A young man by the name of Drew Simpson was the quarterback for this South Oldham team.
Yeah, Joe Gamsky, Coach Gamsky's senior year, Drew was a junior, and they had a pretty good year that year. The district was a little different then. They were in with Highlands and Covcath, and so it was a little bit different brand of football, but it was exciting to watch, and it was a lot of tough games. And Coach Gamsky was a really good football player. I know he probably don't tell the players that very often, but he was. And so, we had a lot of fun up here.
Last week, I'm looking outside right now. The rain is falling, and it's actually falling in our faces, a rare east to west storm, and maybe not called a storm. It's not quite that strong. But the bottom line is it's coming right into the glass here and the press box, so it's going to be interesting trying to pick up some of these numbers. But, Steve, it was raining last week, and South did pretty good, a 21-9 win on the road at Grant County. And, as a coach, I'm sure you'll say what most coaches say, which is a road win anytime is a good win.
All wins are good wins, road or at home. Grant County's really been building the last few years. Of course, I'm from Grant County. I was athletic director there when the football program started, so it's really been an uphill battle for them over the years, and they take a lot of pride in it there. So I know when South goes over there, Grant County's going to play them tough. So to go over there and get a 21-9 win, no matter what Grant's record is, means that the South Oldham boys went over and played hard.
Big win for the Dragons. They got scores on both of their first two possessions in the first period, got a 14-0 lead, and really kind of coasted from there. Grant County did close it to within one touchdown at the end of 3 at 14-7. But Michael McGee with the go-ahead, maybe I shouldn't say go-ahead, more like an insurance touchdown there early in the fourth period from 1 yard out. South Oldham would give up a safety that would cut the lead to 21-9. But the rains came, and, football's kind of a funny game when you start adding water to it.
Yep. Well, walking in here tonight, a lot of people looked at me like, what are you going up there for? But the first thing I told them was that one of the reasons I chose to coach basketball was because it's indoors, and we don't have to deal with nights like tonight. So football players are tough, football coaches are tough, and they will need to be that tonight in these weather conditions.
Last week, the Dragons, Steve, really needed the win. Now, you've coached basketball teams where you've gotten a little behind the eight ball early in the year and then needed to kind of right the ship as the season went on. Obviously, a loss to Connor first game of the district put South in a little bit of a hole, but there's always that little silver lining to losing one early. You've got some time to right the ship, and the win last week helped South even their record at 1-1. Cooper last week was busy knocking off Connor, so that kind of brought things back to the Dragons a little bit, and now you got a big game here tonight against Cooper.
Yeah, talking to several of the players today, they're really excited for this game. They knew last week that to have a chance to host a playoff game, they really had to go to Grant County and win. And tonight, really, they need a win here tonight to try to make that happen again. They really want to host a playoff game. All coaches do. The players, there's really great guys on this team. I have a lot of these guys in Lifetime Sports, and it's just amazing how hard they work and how focused they are to football. And I think they're going to come out tonight really focused. Cooper has a nice team, has a really good defense, but I think our boys are well prepared, and I think that they'll come out tonight and really play well against Cooper.
Well, in this one, if the district regular season championship is important to you, this will play a big part in it. I mean, if Cooper wins tonight, they go to 3-0 in the district, and they go to play Grant County to wrap up their district play. They'll be very heavily favored in that game. On the other hand, if South Oldham wins this one tonight, they improve to 2-1 in the district. Cooper falls to 2-1 in the district, and all of a sudden things get very interesting.
Yep. I know putting numbers up on the banners in the gym, those district titles, I know the first one they put up there, Coach Reed was very excited about, and the players take a lot of pride in. So that's why I think tonight they'll play like their backs are against the wall. I know they've had a good week of preparation. I talked to the quarterback today for a long time during class, and he broke down Cooper's defense a little bit, and he's very well prepared for them tonight. So being able to be a 1 or 2 seed, play on your home field makes a huge difference in the playoffs, just like in basketball, trying to be the 1 seed in the basketball district tournament has been very good to us over the last couple of years. So I think, once again, I think they'll come out here tonight. Cooper knows the same thing. Cooper knows if they can win that they pretty much have it wrapped up, so there's a lot on the line tonight.
The rain continues to fall out there. It's kind of a mist right now. Now, we're getting told that around 8 o'clock it's going to come down a lot harder, so we'll see just how much harder it does come down. Right now, we're about 26 minutes away from game time. South Oldham against Cooper. You're listening to the Pegasus Sports Network. We'll have more coverage of the South Oldham Dragon football right after this. This is the Mount Joy Chilton and Medley pregame show.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mount Joy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mount Joy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mount Joy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
Baptist Health LaGrange is the best experience expecting families can ever conceive of. We offer spacious, comfortable rooms, a dedicated team of nurses from labor to the time you go home, and a helpful maternity website to guide you through all the questions before and after baby's arrival. For more information or to register for free prenatal classes, visit BaptistHealthLaGrange.com.
Hey, y'all, I'm Kix Brooks.
I'm Ronnie Dunn.
And we're Brooks.
And Dunn for rad. And I've got a 4-letter word for you. Don't. As in don't drive drunk.
And I got a 3-letter word for you, as in get the keys.
When you see someone who's about to drive under the influence,
get the keys.
Because friends don't let friends drive drunk.
I'm building bridges.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council. clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Kentucky High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the KHSAA and the generosity of this station.
Pegasus Sports Network coverage of the South Oldham Dragons continues with the Mountjoy, Chilton, and Medley pregame show. With me now up here in the press box, Steve Simpson, who's going to join us tonight here as our guest announcer. And, of course, Steve knows an awful lot about another sport that he's been associated with here at South Oldham for quite a while, the basketball program. Steve, the coach of the boys basketball team, which has had a pretty good run here last couple of years, 2 straight 8th region titles. And, Steve, let's take a quick little peek at the 2014-2015 team. How's this team starting to shape up?
We're a really young team. The cool thing is we've been coming in 3 mornings a week. We come in at 7:15, work till 8:30, and we haven't had to say one thing to them about effort. Now, at that time of morning, that's pretty amazing, really, because most of them are not morning, people. They would rather be in bed.
I can identify with these young people.
Yeah, and they come in and they are really working hard to get better. The Cat Paws came out yesterday. The Kentucky Cat Paws and the regional rankings are out. We were preseason number 7, maybe a little higher really than I thought we would be, and so Oldham County's number 1. So everything's kind of set in motion already, and so we're gonna. That's our goal, is to try to be number 1 by the end of the season.
Well, you've had some teams in the past, Steve, where you didn't get quite the preseason love, and you've done pretty well with it. I'm not sure really in high school basketball. I mean, you can certainly do those preseason polls looking at the talent that's on the roster and the coach who's on the sidelines. But as you well know, there's just so many variables that come into play throughout the course of the season. I guess the question now the Dragon fans are wondering is, how do you feel about this team? Is preseason 7, is that a reasonable spot right now for your team? And what's the upside here?
Well, we really like it when we're rated low, not low, but kind of flying under the radar. We think we play a little better. My son always said that he thought we coached better when we were down, where we didn't feel like there was as much pressure. And so the last 2 years, the number 1 rated team has not won the region. So that's I don't know what that says for Oldham and other ones, but this team is going to have some growing pains. But I think by the end of the year that they will be a competitive team. I think they'll be a fun team to watch. We opened up the year with Shelby. Shelby's preseason number 2. They got 4 starters back, and they've got a very nice team. So we're going to open up right in the heart of the 8th region with Shelby and try to build from there. But if I had to tell our fans anything, I would say come out. This team's going to be an unselfish team and a team that plays very hard, just like our teams over the last few years have been.
As you look at this team, Steve, what are the early strengths that you can already tell? I mean, you've already mentioned the hard work, and I think that's become a trademark of your teams over the last so many years. We've been pretty much guaranteed that nobody was going to get on the court and outwork South. But what other things does this team look like it might excel at?
Well, one of the things is it's just a physical thing. This is a really long team. The last couple of years, our teams have been, a little smaller. This team's not necessarily big, but you got guys like Dylan Snook that's about 6'3" and has really long wingspan. So we feel like defensively we can do some things with that we haven't been able to do the last few years. And this team will shoot the ball well, I think, once we get in the gym and can really start with our shooting drills. I really like that. One of the main things I like about this team is the guys are trying to be leaders. They've seen what guys in the past have done. They're really committed to what they're doing. Sometimes you can work hard but not work smart. This team wants to work hard and work smart, and that's what they've been doing these mornings when we come in and been working.
Let's talk about some of the guys that are coming back from last year's squad. Steve, who are the familiar faces that are going to return here?
Well, that's the big. That's one of the things that kind of scare. I found a roster in a folder, and so I put a line through everybody that graduated. And there was 3 names left on the list from last year. Of course, Isaac Fields played, came off the bench. I was watching some tape today of the Oldham County game last year, and that was a great game that he played that particular night, hit 2 or 3 threes in that game. So he has some big game experience. And then Grant Williams played for, when Jonathan Blair got hurt, he backed up Zach. So he has some game experience. And then the other one was Patrick King. And after that, really nobody has a whole lot of experience or any experience on our team. So that's what, when I say growing pains, that's what I mean. I think it will take some time for some of these guys. We had them this summer. Some nights we'd play really good, and then the next day we would just make so many mistakes. But as they mature and develop as players and come together as a team, then they have the talent to be a good team. It's just going to take a while to get all the pieces in place.
So how does the region look, Steve? You said Oldham, at least in the Cat's Paws preseason poll, is number 1. Shelby County number 2. Is it some of the usual suspects, or if not, who's the dark horses this year?
Well, Owen County will be everybody's dark horse, and I don't know if they should be a dark horse when they have the best player in the region. If Owen County gets good guard play, then they're going to be tough to beat. That's kind of been their Achilles heel. Simon Kenton has 3 starters back from last year's regional runner-up team, and they're always very good defensively and very tough-minded, and very well coached. So all those teams, along with Oldham and Shelby Collins, will always be probably the most athletic team. And then a team that a lot of people don't. Grant County has they lost 2 really good scorers, but they got 3 really good players back. So those, and then North Oldham with a new coach, you don't know exactly how they're going to be. And then Anderson County might be they got the Cummins boy back. They may be better than, they may really be under the radar. So I think there's a lot of teams that could. I don't know that there's a dominant team. If you can get to the region, if you can get out of your district, then I know it sounds simple, but if you can get to that regional tournament, then I think you got a shot.
Yeah, does it surprise you that Simon Kenton is ranked? And I'm not sure. I haven't seen the Cat's Paws, so I'll apologize up front. Where are they ranked? Do you know?
They're right third.
They're third. Okay.
Right.
All right. With some of the returnees that I remember coming back for them, I guess not a surprise that they're up there, but interesting that the runner-ups maybe not ranked in the top 2.
Yep, I was kind of surprised with that as well. But Oldham County is so athletic. Connor Hicks was debating about not play, he's going to play now, but for a while he was considering not playing basketball this year. And now he has announced that he is going to play. They have really a complete team. They have those baseball guys that are long, that are good players, and they gained a lot of experience last year. They probably got 8 guys that's got varsity experience. Hayden Halls was a MVP in the district last year, and he's in his senior year. And they're really motivated to try to win the region. So I think it's good that Oldham's rated number 1. I think coming into the season that would be my choice if I had to pick someone. Simon Kenton having to drive down. Sometimes I think that drive down here kind of affects them a little bit. So if I had to factor in everything, Oldham would be my top pick.
So, getting back to your squad here, this year's Dragons, obviously, by now we've seen Steve Simpson's teams and we know some of the traits of your team. But how will this team be different from some of your teams in the past? Is there anything that kind of stands out?
Well, I hope not a lot different. I hope they kind of play like we have been. It's really hard to say. Every team has a little something, and like I said, one of the things we're trying to emphasize with this group is to try to get them to buy in really quickly. Now that we've had a couple regional championships, all teams usually, like Casey Jackson's team, it was like the 6th game of the season. We went to Western Hills. It was a 55-52 game, terrible game. They decided after that they were going to buy in. We won 9 in a row, went on to the regional finals. The thing I hope this team is different is I hope they're ready to buy in on October 15th, just as soon as we get going. Because if they do, then we got a much better chance of getting to and winning another regional tournament. If it takes a while, then I think it'll be tough, because then again that will set us back several weeks.
Steve, let me ask you something. Before you came, South had never won a region. It's a tough thing to do. Now you've won 2 in a row. Last year I asked you this same question, but I'm really interested in the answer this year. How has that changed the way your teams are coming out and putting on the South Oldham uniform? Because, until you win it, It's something that everybody shoots for, but I think the players always wonder, can we win it? And now you've done it. You've done it 2 years in a row. How's that affecting your team now?
I think it gives everybody a lot of confidence. It gives our coaching staff confidence. It gives the players confidence in things that we're asking them to do. Sometimes when you're first building a program, you're asking a kid to do something, and they're looking around thinking, why should I? I really don't see the benefit in that. Why do a jumping program? Why lift weights? Why do a strength program? But now we've done some things, and I think the players have seen the value in those. And now we can back that up with a championship. And I think that gives the coaches more. I think it allows the players to believe in us more. And while they did before, I think it goes to the next level now. My daughter Lindsay and I discussed buy-in a lot. In fact, she just texted me the words buy-in because we discussed that a lot and how important that is. And I think our 2 championships will help these players buy in quickly. And if they do, as I said a minute ago, then I think we can improve quickly.
Well, it certainly makes it easier on the coaches. You can say, been there, done that now, and that's a great thing. I was just curious about that because now all of a sudden, sometimes it seems like the championships, when you can come up with 1 or 2, all of a sudden wanting to win, trying to win becomes expecting to win.
I will say this. Last year I thought our team looked at the regional championship from the year before, and I thought last year Kyle Young and Jonathan Blair, they saw how it was done from the year before, and they knew the level of work that it took. And they knew how much fun it was getting to miss school starting on Tuesday and stay in Lexington the whole week. And I know that shouldn't be motivation, but it is. And they were determined to win the region last year. And I felt from the middle of the year on that we were going to have an excellent chance. And you never know about injuries and you never know about things like that. But I felt like we would have a chance because once we got to the regional tournament, they had the experience. In our Collins game this year, we blew a big lead, but we never panicked because the same thing had happened the year before, and we had come back and won in overtime. So just that experience, big game experience, and then the confidence you get from it can make a difference. And I'm hoping that it'll be a little harder for this team to do that because these guys were not as involved. They were on the team. They practiced. They made the other guys better, but they weren't in the major roles other than Isaac and Grant. So they kind of have an idea how to do it, but some of the things this year they're going to have to kind of learn on their own.
All right. Well, we're going to take a timeout. The Mountjoy Chilton and Medley pregame show continues here on the Pegasus Sports Network. When we return, Steve and I'll take a look at this matchup here tonight. Cooper against South Oldham right here in Crestwood with the rain falling under the lights here. We'll be back right after this.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
Are you looking for a primary care physician or specialist? The Baptist Health Physician Referral Service can help you find a physician close to you. Call 222-3627 or visit the online physician search at baptisthealthlagrange.com.
I'm Leanne Rhymes for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. To some, it's just not country music without hard drinking and fast driving. But real life's not a song, and in less time than it takes to play the latest country hit, someone will be killed or injured in an alcohol-related crash. So next time you're out with someone who's been drinking, don't let them take the wheel. Take the keys instead. That's why friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
You know, I used to be pro-choice, and then something happened to me. I had a baby of my own. When I was pregnant, I finally realized that all this little kid was trying to do was make it, just like all of us. So I haven't figured it all out yet, but why, when I wanted the baby, it was a baby, and when I didn't, it was something else. Think about it.
A message from Right to Life at KRLA.org.
Back at South Oldham High School, just under 8 minutes away from kickoff here. South Oldham against Cooper tonight. The Jaguars of Cooper coming in here with a 5-2 record. South Oldham 4-2 after that big win over Grant County last week. And of course, the really important records are are those district records. South Oldham comes in 1-1. Cooper is 2-0. Steve, let's talk a little bit about this matchup here tonight. Of course, Cooper, relatively speaking, is a fairly new school. They haven't been around that long.
Yeah, no, they've established themselves as a power school in the 5A and up in northern Kentucky. Very, very well known for being very physical, very intense, and a very good defensive team. I know talking to Coach Gamsky today, that's something that they saw a lot on film and something that they've prepared the boys for going forward.
This is a team that last year struggled a little bit, went 3-8. South Oldham beat the Jaguars last year, 31-20 en route to the district title. This year, the two teams are going to go at it in a game that we talked about earlier. For those who were watching earlier in the pregame show, will go a long way towards determining the winner of this district. Randy Borchers is the head coach. He's in his 7th year at the school. 30-37 is his overall record. Since he's been at Cooper. Randy's also the athletic director. Now, Steve, you've been an athletic director. You're a coach. What's it like to be athletic director and coach?
It's tough. On a lot of nights, you're trying to pull double duty, trying to appease not only the football people, but as athletic director, you have about 9 or 10 other head coaches that need and want things. So to have both those things on your plate, I don't know if he teaches a certain subject during the day, but if he's teaching a full schedule and he's AD and head coach, then he is a busy guy. He's not seeing his family a whole lot.
This is a team that's pretty well balanced, Steve. Torrey Cordell Armstrong is the guy who's made a lot of noise this year. He was a leading returning rusher on the offense. In fact, one of only 2 offensive starters to return from last year. Rushed for 333 yards last season. This year, averaging over 112 yards per game. He's just under 800 yards and averaging about 6.2 yards per carry.
Yeah, last week on 28 carries, he had 195 yards. And today with Coach Gamsky, the defense, as far as talking about the defensive line and stopping him, he's kind of the guy they're zeroing in on. If there was such a thing as a box and one, which I guess there is in football, then that's something that they really need to watch with this guy because he can dominate the game.
And he is exactly who you would think is the guy they're going to turn to tonight with the weather conditions the way they are. He, like I said, averaged with 789 yards on the season now for Cooper. Wears number 27. He's 5'7", 155, not a real big guy, so he's not going to move many piles. So we'll see whether that comes into play tonight when the ground probably won't be muddy. It's an artificial surface, but it's could very well be pretty slippery. At quarterback, it'll be a young man by the name of Billy Prickett. Has over 800 yards passing this year. Steve, what has impressed me in looking over his numbers, I mean, he's only averaging 122 yards per game. That's fairly pedestrian, but his completion percentage is off the charts.
Yeah, South's given up 145 yards a game, which tonight, when talking again, when Mike asked me to do this, I went and found Coach Gamsky and Coach Reed and tried to pick their brain as much as I could. And this Cooper team, according to them, is pretty balanced, run and throw. But they also described it as a Bobby Petrino type offense in the fact that they have many multiple sets. It's not a wing tee or something like that. They will be under center, and then the next thing they'll be in the shotgun and be back out from under center. So they throw a lot of different looks at the defense, and so the defense tonight will have to be very prepared for that.
You know, that's going to bring up an interesting matchup, Steve, because the South defense at times this year has looked very good. At other times it's struggled. Anderson County pretty much ran all over South, but South did a great job that night with the offense and just simply outscored them. Last week when the offense started strong, but then, just kind of settled in and didn't score much after that early going, it was the defense that just played an absolutely awesome game. Grant County's first 5 possessions ended with 3 and outs.
One of the things that I've noticed, just a little bit, I do know that when the other team plays pretty normal football, then our defense is really solid. Sometimes, and it's same in the basketball defense, when the other team does something where the alignment's a little different, and all of a sudden you're getting guys out of their comfort areas, then that's sometimes when you're vulnerable to the big play. So again, if they're going to throw a lot of different things at the defense tonight, then communication will be very important. And in this weather, they may not be able to do that because it looks like with this, they're going to do a lot of running the ball, I would think.
Well, and if I saw correctly there, it looked like South won the toss but deferred to the second half. They're going to split them up here now, and the officials makes the official call. No, South will have the ball. Okay, I was looking at the wrong player when he indicated who won the toss. So Cooper won the toss, deferred to the second half. South will receive at the south end zone. Some other things about this Cooper team. This is not a team that brought back a lot of players from last year. Just 5 returning starters, 3 on offense. 3 on offense, 2 on defense. Defensively, we'll see a 4-2-5 lineup. Steve, we're seeing that more and more in the high school game.
Yeah, as things develop at college, you see a lot of different looks. In basketball, a lot of times, any defense that you can throw at people that disrupts them and gets them out of the rhythm, then that causes other teams a lot of problems. And I'm sure the same thing is true in football. And different defensive alignments will cause – anytime you cause high school players to have to think, sometimes bad things can happen. And I'm sure the same is true on the football field with defense.
Schematically, Cooper going to go with multiple I formations. For South, the good news is everybody seems to be fairly healthy this week. Star Thompson had missed the game 2 weeks ago against Connor. He was back last week, had a good game against Grant County, 79 yards on just 8 carries. He and also Adam Clark, who was banged up a little bit. Michael McGee, who missed a lot of practice last week due to the illness, back in practice for the full week this week. And Steve, a lot of times just having all the pieces in the puzzle together for practice for a full week makes a world of difference.
You have to have good practices to have good games. Now, they did have a little sickness on Monday. There were 4 or 5 guys that were not at school Monday and could not practice because they were a little bit under the weather. So, but I think they got them back. I talked to Coach Reed by Wednesday. I think everybody was back and ready to go. So, hopefully that's all behind them and they're ready to go tonight.
And we are just about ready with the opening kickoff. You've been listening and watching the Mountjoy Chilton and Medley pregame show. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, the largest locally owned CPA firm in north central Kentucky. And here's our kick to start the game. It's a short one. Star Thompson will take it at the 26-yard line. I think South might have been expecting a short kick. Thompson out over the 30 to the 32-yard line. South will start their first drive from there. And bringing you all the pictures is Kevin Montgomery tonight. Want to thank him for his efforts. As you can see on the camera lens, little specks of water there as the rain continues to come down here in Crestwood. The Dragons with the first possession of the ball game.
I think you need to give him a little bit more than credit. You better take him out to eat. It's wet out there, and he's getting wet out by that camera.
And it's coming right into his face, too.
Yeah, he's a trooper out there tonight, I can tell you that.
Michael McGee, the senior quarterback under center, sends Thompson in motion. Is to Courier, the fullback. He'll try the right side and pick up of a yard, maybe, about a yard out to the 33, and that'll be it.
Yeah, again, that field, even there, looked like a little bit of traction. He was trying to get going, just couldn't get that push up through the guys couldn't get that push up in the line.
2nd down 9 for South Oldham. One wide to the right side. We may have trouble picking up numbers at times because we got a pretty wet window we're trying to look out of. And again, they'll give it to Kurger. He'll try the left side this time. Good, strong push by Cooper, and leading the way there was number 58, Kyle Sand, 5'11", 215-pound junior.
Kevin's leg's been bothering him a little bit this week. We've let him ice and stuff in PE, and so he's rested and was hoping it would be well and ready to go tonight.
3rd down long. Dragons need some real estate here. And again, they'll give it to Kurger, and he'll try to blast his way out over the 35. Gets to the 36, a 2-yard gain. And South is going to go 3 and out to start the ball game.
Looked like the Cooper there was kind of setting on the run. Line was really, really strong there. Not a lot of room at all for any runs, any holes in that line.
Dragons will punt it away. Hayden with a nice punt is going to take a Dragon bounce. Cooper will come up and field it. I thought that was kind of a little risky there, but Cooper comes up with it at the 31-yard line. Coming up to make the field there was number 8, Dante Hendricks.
Coach Gamsky, he is a defensive-minded coach, and I talked to him a lot today. And, of course, it sounds simple, but their number one job is to stop the run, defensive line, and he's really been preaching that this week, especially with this running back for Cooper. So let's see if our guys are ready to go there.
Billy Prickett, number 2, is the senior quarterback. Offset eye behind him this time, and the fake is to the tailback, Cordell Armstrong. Prickett's going to tuck it and run as he had nowhere to throw the ball. And South Oldham with a good pursuit there on the side there. Coming in there to make the stop for the Dragons was Connor John, and also coming in there was number 64, Drew Hobbs.
Yeah, they flushed him out that time and then really stayed contained. They could have broke that long, but, again, the pursuit was well and everybody stayed home, and they were able to really not give up. Actually lost a yard there.
The fullback, number 48, Seth Keller, is a junior. They move him over, and he's trying to block. Not going to get anything this time. Complete domination up front that time by the Dragons. Nick Bass with a strong push up there gets the tackle.
Looked like they tried to run some type of little reverse back there, and South just was right on it. And again, the defense has come to play tonight. Cooper's going in the wrong direction as far as they're concerned.
Ball resting at the 25-yard line now. 3rd down, and 16. Prickett will go into the shotgun. 2 wide to the right, 3 to the left. Empty backfield other than Prickett. Going to throw quickly. Has his man, and it is complete at about the 40-yard line, but a flag is down.
If the spot holds, it looks like now they've moved it back a little bit, so it's going to be a little short of the 1st down.
Well,
and I don't see. It doesn't look like they've started the clock, so I don't know if they picked the flag up.
Well, he picked the flag up, made no call, and looks like Cooper is going to have to punt the ball away here on 4th down and about a yard. Late arrival on the field for the Jaguars. Interior lineman, I don't think they wanted to snap that ball without him. Good snap. The kick is away. Jack Skeeters going back for it. It's going to have to let it go. It goes out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. Good coverage downfield by the Jaguars. Nathan Brown down there to make sure Skeeters was unable to get any kind of return. So the Dragons will have it for the 2nd time tonight, just inside their own 20-yard line at about the 18.
Looks like both teams kind of feeling each other out there a little bit. Neither team wanting to really try to make a big throw, just kind of run the ball, trying to see how the defense is going to play. And looks like this is going to be a dogfight tonight. Both teams really doing a good job defense on the first series.
South on their first series kept it pretty much between the tackles. Let's see what they do here. McGee on 1st down. Again, we'll give it to Kurger, and he'll fight his way out to about the 20. Got a little bit of a rugby scrum going there, and maybe picked up 2.
Yeah, again, as you said, they're just kind of running up the middle there. And I think Kevin needs, what did we say, 61 yards to go over 1,000 tonight, I believe it was. So at 2 yards a clip, that's going to take a while. So hopefully he's going to have to bust out a little bit.
Dragons tight formation. One wide out to the near side. It's got the Delaware wing T offense here. In motion, Thompson. They hand it off to Curriger again, and once again the Jaguars right there to plug up all the holes, and not a lot of doing there. They're just kind of two lines pretty much moving in place in the gain of just a yard.
Yeah, it's just kind of a headbutting contest right now, but keep drawing them in the middle there, and maybe in a minute then they'll bust one out. They'll bust one out long. Kevin Curriger is just a really strong kid. I tell you, them guys may be hitting them, but they're getting hit back every time they tackle him.
Adam Clark is the right wing. The left wing is Thompson. Wide to the right, Ethan Reinert. Back to throw now. McGee looking for Reinert, and did he catch it? Yes, he did, at about the 31-yard line, and that's going to be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, I really like the passing game. It seems to me like good things happen when you pass it. Now, some football coaches, the old saying, when you pass it, only three things can happen, and two of them are bad. So I hear them say that a lot, but getting it out there, at least they got some movement there, and back to the first down and the ball on the move.
First down of the ball game, and now the Dragons coming out in the wishbone. And they'll give it to the second man through, crashing to the left side. And boy, Cooper has just been staunch against the run here early on tonight.
I believe that was Starr.
Starr getting the carry that time.
And he got hit hard. I tell you, all these guys that are going up the middle are getting hit pretty hard for these 2 and 3 yards. So, again, the guys are going to have to be strong and open up some holes here and bust one of these guys out for a long one.
Second down, 8. South going back to the wing T. In motion, Clark this time, and they'll take the little fake here on the option. This time, McGee with the keeper out over the 35 to the 38-yard line. A gain of about 5. We'll see where they actually spot it. Dragons did a good job of setting that one up with all the interior runs, but Steve, we do have a flag here. Going to be motion against South.
Yep. So it's going to make it.
Well, this is a good size defensive front for Cooper. They do have one defensive end who's pretty small, but otherwise pretty good size. Jack Schaefer, 205 pounds. Dalton Mitchell, 225. Marcus Watson, 235. So some pretty good size up front for the Jags. Pass intended over on the left side to Jack Skeeters is going to fall incomplete at about the 38-yard line. Would have been short of the first down.
Good throw. A little high, but just kind of went through his hands there. I think there was a couple defenders around him, so may have heard a few steps, but good execution there. Just kind of, ball's probably a little bit wet by now too, so it just kind of went through his hands.
Third and long for South. Need about 13 here. They got to get to about the 41-yard line. Right now the ball at the 28. In motion, Thompson, back to throw, play action. McGee looking deep. He's going to lead his man just a little too far as Ethan Reinert struggling to get some separation there, and that'll bring up fourth down, and South will have to punt the ball away.
Yep. Ethan Reinhart's he's had a good year, 21 receptions, 325 yards receiving. Good target, just like you said, it was just a little bit overthrown. But I like the way they took a chance downfield and that, put the pressure on the defense there and make them cover the whole field.
Well, Ethan had a great catch against Grant last week. Went for 38 yards where he tipped the ball in the air and was falling down and managed to come up with the catch. This was going to be a short punt. The ball muffed, but Cooper will fall on it. And the Jaguars will have the ball. Dante Hendricks muffed the catch, but able to come up with the recovery. And with 5:38 to go here in the first period, no score here in Crestwood. And the rain continues to fall. The Dragons will be on defense now. Right now, Cooper, though, slowly winning the field position battle a little bit. This drive will start at their own 45. Offset eye. Back to throw, Prickett. Nope, this late draw gives it to Cordell, and he's going to get it over the 50 to the 49-yard line of South Oldham, a gain of about 6. We're going to just call him Cordell. I'm afraid, Steve, if I try to say Torrey Cordell Armstrong every time he touches the ball, they're going to run off 3 plays before I get the word out.
Yeah, and we'll get confused. Yeah, he really had a burst of speed that time. He's lean. He's not a big, like you said earlier, not this big dominant runner, but very quick, very good footwork.
3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Prickett rolling to his left, going to tuck it under and go, and almost got the first down. Connor John there to make the stop, along with, I think it was Tony Hale maybe. Yeah, it was.
Looks like they're about 2 yards, maybe about a yard.
Cooper looking at 3rd and short here. Inside Dragon territory for the first time tonight. Yeah, one thing about Prickett, Steve, he's showing some versatility back there as a runner and as a passer. This time gives the handoff to the second man through. That's Cordell, and the Dragons had nowhere for him to go. Connor John, Drew Hobbs, also in there was, I think, Trey Mills.
They hit him hard that time. You could tell the South defensive line very well prepared. You could tell they actually seemed like they had that play down and knew right where the hole he was running to.
South looking to get the ball here for the 3rd time already tonight. The ball's going to hit at about the 11. Takes a Cooper roll and covered well by the Cooper special teams unit. South's going to have this one backed up all the way at their own 6-yard line.
Yeah, a lot of punts so far tonight. It's so far, but again, both teams just seem to have a hard time getting their offense going. They're getting into a rhythm, and just like with any sport, it makes it really hard to try. If you can't get it going, then it can affect both sides. But the defenses really have stepped up tonight so far.
Yeah, and I don't think it's really the weather at this point, Steve.
No.
I think it is the defenses. The defenses have played well. See what happens here with South, see how conservative they want to play this. Backed up on their own 6. Thompson in motion. The give is to Curriger, and Kevin has the room to run. At the 25, it's a foot race. If he can pull away, he's not going to be able to. And they're going to hang him down at the 41, maybe the 42-yard line.
Yep, nice hole there. He hit it quick, and once he got that first step outside of there, then I think number 9 for them, I think he chased him down and got the tackle. But it was a nice run, and they've been hitting that hole and hitting it, and I guess this time they got it open, and he found his way through there.
So let's see, 44 and 9, 53 yards on the run there. And they'll give it to Courier again, straight up the middle, and again finding a little crease, and he's down inside the 35 to the 34, a gain of 9, and nearly another first down.
Yeah, now he's hitting that hole fast, and they found like we were talking about, found their rhythm a little bit. And I'd like to see them get up to that line, get up there and just keep it moving.
Well, and when you can start to get the runs between the tackles starting to work, that opens up an awful lot of things. And you got the speedster on the wing there, and Star Thompson, and of course Ethan Reinert at the wideout. 2 wideouts to the left side now. Clark goes in motion. They fake it to Curriger. McGee's going to take it around the end. Tripped up, or he might have gone a long, long way. As it is, he gets it inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. That'll be a Dragon first down.
Yeah, there was just one. If he'd got past that shoestring tackle there, then there was just one guy to beat, and he may have been in the end zone right there.
We've said it a couple of times already this year, but a young man with rather deceptive speed, Steve. He just gets ahead of steam going and takes off.
Yep, he's a pretty good basketball player in Lifetime Sports too. I watch him play basketball. There's a flag there.
Yeah, flag late coming in. You'd think that would probably be on the defense here. Kurger moves the pile down inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. Gain of about 5. on the carry, but this is going to be a holding call against South Oldham.
Looking at the stats, McGee, it looks like he's rushed for about 250 yards this year. So, like you said, he's got a little bit of deceptive quickness, and that time he kind of showed it.
And he had the one touchdown of 80-plus yards earlier this year, so he's got the ability to get out into the open space and run away from folks. 1st and 15 after the penalty. McGee has Kurger behind him. Star Thompson in motion now, and they'll pitch it to him. First carry of the game for Star. Sidesteps a couple of defenders, gets it inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. A gain of about 4.
Yeah, trying to get outside there and just kind of pursuit by the Cooper defense was pretty good.
I said that was his first carry. Actually, it was his second carry of the game. He's got 6 yards on the night. 2nd down and 11 for South Oldham. 1:50 to go in a first period that's been primarily dominated by punts.
Yeah, and the clock's moving. It's already down to 1:40 this quarter.
Fast-moving game.
And when they run it like that.
Yeah. In motion, Clark from right to left. They fake the pitch. McGee throwing.
Striking first, too, in a big district game in football, I think, is important. And so I think this will give our defense a lot of confidence and the offense, too, going forward.
Cook on for the PAT. And the kick is up. And the kick is no good. 6-0 the score remains here in Crestwood. South Oldham with the early lead in this one, but unable to get the extra point. And boy, that's a rarity. We don't see Cook miss too often.
No, but that was a really nice drive. Where'd they start? They started
at their 6-yard line.
6-yard line, and a couple run plays, mixed it up. A lot of different looks as far as run pass, and a lot of good play calls right there. And again, as was mentioned, that last pass was a really nice pass, and he threw it just where Star was the only one that could catch it, and I was very impressed with that drive.
24-yard pass from McGee gives the Dragons a 6-0 score. The extra point no good, so it's 6-0 South Oldham. 1:24 left here in the first period. And that was a nice drive there, Steve. Yeah, like he's pointed out, 94-yard drive.
Yeah, it's against a good defense. Cooper, if you look at their defensive stats, very good, not giving up a lot of points per game. I know it yards and stuff in football, but it's a very good defensive unit.
Kick is up there. The Dragons taken at the 8-yard line. Cooper will get it over the 20 and brought down at the 22-yard line, and getting in there for South to make the stop was number 9, Luke Freed. Dante Hendricks with another return for Cooper, and the Jaguars will start just outside their own 20 at the 22.
Yeah, like I said a minute ago, I believe the defense now comes out with a lot of confidence. Can play a little looser now. Got a lead, and sometimes being able to take a few chances there can. Well, I have a boy in class said he was going to get a pick 6 tonight, so we'll see if that's going to happen.
Cole Wilgang is wide to the right side. Prickett back to throw. Has time. Now here comes the late rush, and he's going to go down. Going to go down. The Dragons with a great rush there, Steve. And, pick a number. An awful lot of green jerseys in there.
Yeah, 65. I'm not good enough at this to look at my roster and figure out all these names yet. But 65 was put pressure on him first, caused him to step up a little bit, and wasn't able to make his reads, and then followed by about three or four other green jerseys to take him down.
Well, it looked like he was going to have some time to throw there for a second. The protection was there, but obviously a longer route for Cooper, and the protection eventually broke down. 2nd down and long now, about 18. Prickett Back to throw again. Fires left side. Has a man, and the pass is caught at the 47. Into Dragon territory and down at the 36-yard line. Pass complete to number 6, Nathan Brown, who's also a backup quarterback, 6'1", 165 junior. And that's the first down for Cooper of the ballgame.
Yeah, and they're coming back to the line pretty quick. I don't know if that's something that they it seemed like they got up a little quicker and trying to put a little more hurry-up offense into this drive.
It's like Brown goes back wide to the left side. This time it's going to be Cordell. Cordell slips a tackle and is going to get the first down. Gains exactly 10 yards, just enough for the first down.
Again, hit that line quick. Pretty impressed with his speed as far as once he gets that football. And first couple hits really don't seem to slow him down, or at least it didn't on that particular run.
Well, Steve, I think he skipped a couple of gears there. He went straight to fourth.
Yeah, he's got nice speed.
Into the first period here at South Oldham High School. The Dragons have the lead here in the battle for the district. We'll be back right after this. You're listening and watching the Dragons on the Pegasus Sports Network.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
And along with Steve Simpson, I'm Mike Montgomery, welcoming you back to Crestwood, Kentucky, where the Dragons of South Oldham have taken a 6-0 lead here into the second period. Cooper, though, with the ball and starting to challenge here, facing a second down and just a yard from the 27-yard line now of South Oldham.
In that quarter, both offenses kind of picking it up a little bit, so seems the tempo's moving up.
South is going to come off sides, and long hard count there by Cooper, going to generate a first down by penalty. Third penalty of the game against South. And Cooper will move inside the 25-yard line. They'll put the ball at the 22. And your fullback is Keller. Cordell Armstrong is the tailback in the I formation behind Prickett. Comes back, hands it off. Prickett is met in the backfield. Tony Hale with a nice penetration, and Hale brings him down behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of about 2.
Tony, I have him in class, man. He loves football, and he's a gamer. He's ready on game night, and sometimes he may not always be excited about practice, but he loves playing football, and by example of that play right there.
Second down and 12, a loss of 2 on the play. Cooper will send Chad Michaels wide to the right side. I formation, and again the give to the tailback. Cordell, right side. Oh, wait a minute, I think it's somebody else. He's breaking to the outside here. Let me try to pick up that number. Finally knocked out of bounds by Adam Clark.
I think it was 23.
Yeah. No, it was Armstrong there. I got a better look at it. It looked like 23.
Yep, that's what it looked like from here as well.
Yeah, I said Cordell, and I thought I was wrong. But actually, it's going to be a first down, first and goal for Cooper now. Ball just inside the 10-yard line. Quickly up to the line, the Jaguars.
They seem to be getting up there quicker.
And it gives Cordell counter over to the 5, and he's wrapped up quickly there and brought down. Connor John in there again to make the stop, along with number 3. That's Austin Greenrose. But Connor John, boy, I tell you, we haven't talked about him today, but this is a guy who's just always the last guy up from every pile. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, he's a hard-nosed kid. He's, again, another kid that really loves football.
Second and goal from the 5, and again the little counter play, and again South Oldham swallows it up pretty quickly here. Tony Hale in there for South. Connor John, Trey Mills. Good to see Trey Mills back after him injuring that shoulder. He's a huge part of that defensive line, and I say that jokingly because he's a big kid, but he's a big part of that line. When he's in there, it's a much better team. High formation, 3rd and goal now at about the 3.5 yard line. They fake it to the tailback. Prickett looking, he's going to tuck it and try to run. He's hit hard, and he's not going to get in.
Again, a good pursuit there. They had number 80 was wide open in the end zone for them. Nobody around him, and he elected to keep it there, and defense did a good job keeping him out of the end zone.
I think Connor John hit him first, but Austin Greenrose and Adam Clark came in there to finish him off and make sure he wasn't going to get any extra yardage. And it looks like Cooper, 4th and goal at the 2, is going to go for it.
Yep, that's at this stage of the game, probably a good idea, good decision there. The way they've been moving the ball.
One wide to the right side. That's Michaels. Eye backfield. Cordell is the tailback, gets the call, and he's wide open as he runs it into the end zone, and this game is tied.
Big hole right there. He practiced, well, of course, it was only 2 yards, but he pretty much went in untouched.
So Cordell Armstrong gives the Cooper faithful something to cheer about.
One of the things I like about this football team is how they are very competitive. They do the little things that you need to do to win games.
Kick is up. The kick by Billy Prickett, who the quarterback doubles up as the kicker, and he puts the Jaguars on top now, 7-6, as the PAT is good. 9:15 to go here in the first half, and see how the Dragons now can respond to Steve.
Oh, I think they'll respond well. Coach Reed is the 5th football coach that's been here since I've been here, and all the coaches were very good and all had different levels of success, but all did a good job. And the one thing with Coach Reed's team is how well prepared I think they are, and then how competitive they really, whatever game plan he gives them, they really do a great job of executing. Now, again, kids are kids and they'll make mistakes, but they really believe in him and they really believe in the schemes and the things that he is doing. And so you will see them, if something doesn't work right, it's just a physical mistake or something like that. It's not where they're trying to do something on their own. They are very well coached and very well prepared as far as for the games, as far as the schemes.
So Cooper to kick it, a little pooch kick here. South Oldham, Thompson will get it again, takes it at the 27, tries to bring it to the near side, up the middle of the field, over the 40, and down at the 43-yard line. Obviously, South saw something on the tape, Steve, that told them to expect some of these shorter kicks because, they've had Starr a lot further up than they normally do.
Yeah, one thing about football coaches is, of course, now we have Huddle and we have all these different video editing, trading, but football coaches have always traded tapes, and football coaches watch a lot of tape. They watch more tape than any coach of any other teams, I believe.
Okay, after defensive reigns in the first 4 possessions, and as Kurger went through the line, lost the ball there, but I think he got it back. The defense has reigned in the first 4 possessions. Now we've had 2 straight touchdowns. See what the South offense can do, as Kurger picked up 5 there on first down.
Yeah, it seems like, it was never raining hard, but it seems like your son looks a little happier out there, so I think it's raining maybe a little less, so maybe that's but yes, you're right. They tempo has picked up, and the offenses are moving the ball.
Dragons with, looks like that Daniel Prop on the wide out to the right. No, it was Ethan Reinert. And now here goes McGee on the McKeeper. Takes it around the right side on the little option play. Gets it down to the 45, and that'll be a South Oldham first down.
Again, watching the offensive calls, watching the plays that South is running, again, you can see the preparation that the offensive coordinator has as far as reading the defenses of Cooper. And I think that's evident by how South's beginning to move the ball.
8:14 to play here in the second period. And we did fail to mention earlier, kind of wanted to mention this when it happened, but kind of forgot. Kevin Kurger now over 1,000 yards on the season. And they'll give it to the fullback, but this time it's not Kurger. It's, I believe, Connor John. Yeah, Connor John with the carry for South. Took it straight up the middle, and that was a quick hitter, Steve. They didn't waste any time getting up to the line or snapping the ball.
Yeah, and he did a good job there again. And they're all giving him 5 and smiling, so that must have been something they worked on this week in practice. And again, as you said, it was a quick hitter.
Connor John, he's just one of the best athletes all around on the team. He's the backup quarterback, runs the ball, and this time they'll give it again to the fullback, but this time it's number 29 back in there, Kevin Kurriger on the carry. Gets it inside the 40 to about the 38, maybe a gain of about a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Kurriger's a workhorse. They just keep feeding him, and he just keeps pounding on that line until they weakens him up a little bit and breaks through again.
Got him 81 yards now on 10 carries.
Yeah, he's going to have a big game again, looks like.
7 minutes exactly here in the first half. 7-6. Cooper up by 1. They fake it to Currier. McGee around the left side. Slips through the defense and is off to the races. It's a one-man to beat, and he's not going to catch him. And Currier from 38 yards out puts it in the end zone. South back on top.
Yeah, they the run out there again. The speed. Did 16 run that in?
It was McGee. It was Michael McGee.
Okay.
I said Currier,
okay.
but it was McGee on the carry.
And
McGee, 38 yards for the score.
Yeah, those long strides there, they weren't going to catch him once he got out there. It's kind of like at NASCAR. That once he got out in that clean open air, he was gone, and there was nobody going to catch him.
Yeah, McGee, as I said earlier, the deceptive speed and slipped through the defense there, comes through for the 38-yard score. The kick is up, and South Oldham boots this one through. And they now take a 13-7 lead.
Well, again, after the first few trips, the defense everybody pound on each other. Now we're playing some up-tempo football, and both teams are moving the ball. And
this is kind of your football, Steve.
Yeah.
Fast break.
Yeah, I always said it. Brian Shuddy, when he coached here, I always liked he played what they call Nintendo football, and he'd have as many wide receivers as you was allowed to have. That's what he had, and he threw every play. And of course, it took 4 hours to play a game because it just took, with the clock stopping all the time. But yeah, I do like it when the teams are moving quickly up and down the field, and again, both teams are starting to do that, and the fans like it.
Well, Michael now with 3 carries in the ball game, and those 3 carries have netted 56 yards and a score. Not a bad little average.
No. I'm getting these texts from people. They didn't think my NASCAR analogy was good. I thought that was a pretty good one, actually. But
deep kick. Cooper will take it at the 2. South, pretty decent coverage downfield, but the Jaguars will get it out over the 20-yard line. On the return that time for the Jaguars again, Dante Hendricks. He's been a busy man on those returns. So the last 3 possessions now have yielded touchdowns. Cooper will start this drive at their own 22.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Gamsky today, he said, try to give as much love to the defensive line as you can. So we don't get enough love. So they've been doing a pretty good job. So let's see this series if they can try to get a stop and a 3 and out.
Prickett in the shotgun. 5 wide outs and fumbles the ball, goes and gets it, and he'll drop down around the 15-yard line, a loss of about 7. Steve, it looked like that time that he just fumbled the ball as he reached to bring it up to throw.
Yeah, sometimes you try to throw it before you catch it is sometimes a baseball analogy. So just kind of really wasn't that much pressure on him, I didn't think. He just kind of got away from him.
2nd down, 17.
Good opportunity here for the good field position, too, if they can hold.
Cooper in the eye. They give to the tailback. Cordell is wrapped up. No, he gets away from the defender and gets a little bit of positive yardage. Not a lot, but he does get it up to about the 19-yard line, a gain of 4.
Yeah, he was hit early there, and it was extra effort there that was able to get that other 3 and 4 yards, at least kind of put them in a manageable situation here.
3rd and 13. South leads 13-7. 5:35 to go here, second quarter action. Michael McGee with a 38-yard run put the Dragons back on top. Prickett now throwing over the middle and over the head of his intended receiver. And
flag on the
crowd
far side.
looking for a flag, and they may have gotten a late hit against South here.
I was actually watching the ball. I didn't see. I just saw the flag come late.
Yeah, I think this may be a late hit on the Dragons. Waiting for the referee to make the call here. It is personal foul, South Oldham, as they hit the receiver well after the play was dead, and a 15-yard penalty. The fourth penalty of the night against South. They have not really been an overly penalized team this year, but 4 big penalties here. Maybe it's not so much the number of penalties, Steve, here in the first half, but when they have come, and that one, that gives Cooper new life.
Yeah, totally new life. Coach Reed's teams don't have a lot of, they're so disciplined, they're not going to have a lot of bad penalties. And, again, like you said, that one just come at a time where they had them pinned back and now gave them new life.
Bunch formation to the right side. Prickett rolling that way, looking downfield, has his man. Was he in bounds when he caught it? And I don't think they're going to give it to him. I think this is going to go down as a second down. And it's going to be incomplete. They bunch those receivers in tight there, 3 of them in tight up against the line. And they got some separation there, had a man open on the sideline, but wasn't able to keep his feet in bounds. Prickett back into the shotgun. He's got 2 wide both ways. 3 wide to the left, 2 to the right. Has the ball, has some time. Now here comes the pressure. Throws it over the head of his intended receiver, trying to get it out there to Hendricks down the middle of the field.
Number 50 for South. Again, I don't have the roster, but he got good pressure on the quarterback, and kind of, I think he hurt him a little bit on his delivery.
Yeah, Tyler Covington, the lineman. Yeah, Tyler's had a great year.
Tyler's another good. I have him in first and second period in Lifetime Sports and Fitness and Aerobics, and he's a hard worker, and again, another kid very dedicated to this football program.
Again, empty backfield with Prickett. 3 wide to the right this time, 2 to the left. Has the ball. Here comes the pressure. He's going to step up. He's got a little running room here. Connor John going to try to stop him, but he's going to get the first down, and he gets out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. That'll move the chains. Cooper will get their 4th first down of the ball game here.
Both quarterbacks doing a good job tonight when they need to run or need a big play for their team with trying to pick it up with their feet. So it's always I look down at the south sideline and see all these jerseys. I can remember some years where there was not hardly. It's just good to see so many people involved with the football program and not hanging out at the whippy dip somewhere, but actually here doing something positive.
Prickett comes out from under center, hands off to Cordell Armstrong, and he's going to get met immediately. South Oldham plugging the holes. Austin Greenrose over there, Connor John, and they might have moved the chains for about a yard there.
Yeah, no, they didn't move much. Defense again. South Oldham defense is a stingy bunch. They do not break easily, and they are really a well-prepared, well-coached unit.
Second down and 9 for Prickett and company. He sends 2 wide to the left. Eye backfield. Play action. No, he does hand it off. No, he didn't. It was play action. Looking through all this water on the window, and I can't always tell when they try to fake it there. It was a good fake, but unable to connect on the receiver on the near side. That'll bring up 3rd and long. And again, South with a chance to shut this drive down.
Yeah. Number 8, I believe it was that they tried to just overthrew that a little bit. 3rd and 9, great opportunity for the South Oldham defense here to hold. And if they get this hold, get a score here, could really put a lot of pressure on Cooper from here on out.
4:27 left in the first half. Prickett goes into the shotgun now. Sends a man in motion. That's Hendricks to the left side. Pumps left. Hendricks was already moving upfield at the spot. This is going to come back. The pass is complete on the screen, and they get it very close to the first down, but this one is going to come back. The pass was completed to Cole Wilgig, but this one's going to get backed up.
I didn't see it. Yeah, there it is.
Procedure against Cooper. So the Dragons will take this penalty here. They'll back them up the 5, and that'll make it 3rd down and 14. Like you said, Steve, plenty of time now. 4:19 left. If South can hold on this possession, or on this play rather, a real opportunity still to put something on the board before the half.
Yeah, because their offense, the South offense, is known and has been able to score quick tonight. So plenty of time to get that done. Big play here on defense, 3rd and 14.
Prickett in the shotgun. Has it, retreats, has plenty of time this time. Throws deep and throwing into coverage, incomplete. Ball came out there. It was in play, but it's going to come out, and on the incompletion, it'll be 4th and 14, and Cooper will have to punt this one away.
Very good. Thought South had good coverage there. I mean, the guy made a good throw, and the receiver almost came up with it, but South was in very good position there to defend that pass.
Well, South had him over and under that time, and it was a little bit of a risky throw, but it was a darn good one actually. Now this kick might have shanked it, picked up on a bounce. Skeeters will bring it out over the 30 to the 35-yard line, and South Oldham, 4 minutes, 2 seconds left here in the half. Still can do something here before halftime and pad this lead a little bit.
Oh, plenty of time here, especially the way they've been moving the ball of late. I think they'll stick just what they've been doing, kind of mixing up here. I really think they can run the quarterback. He's had a lot of success with that, and with the time left, I believe that's something they'll look to do.
It is homecoming tonight. What about homecoming? That'll be going on at halftime. I don't believe they're going to lengthen the homecoming halftime as much as they sometimes do. Star Thompson on the end around. One arms a defender. A flag flies down to 37, though. Star picks up about 11, but I think this is going to come back.
Yeah, Star's an athletic kid. He, again, sounds very at their skill positions, again, very athletic. Every year it seems like that Coach Reed has been here, they've had skilled people that are athletic, make good reads, stay within the system he's trying to do, and as a result, have been very successful.
Well, a big penalty here, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, takes it all the way back to the 27-yard line. They got to get to the 45, so it'll be 18 yards for the first down here. 1st and 18 now for the penalty. Again, they send Star in motion, play action. McGee back to throw, a little pressure, dumps it off to Star on the right flat, and really just had nowhere to go. Might have got it back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it.
Yeah, good coverage downfield. I think he had a couple of reads down that way, and just by the time he got back to that read, Star was pretty much covered.
That'll make it 2nd down, 18. South leading by 6 here. Facing the number 5 Cooper Jaguars.
They need to move it a little bit here. They don't want to mess around and give Cooper back good field position right here before halftime.
McGee under center. And everybody goes in motion. The flags come flying, and the Dragons just struggling tonight with the penalties. 6 penalties now for South Oldham. 6 penalties, 50 yards here in the first half. So a 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down and 23 now. That'll move the ball back. Well, they still haven't moved the ball there.
Quarterback's been over a couple times here and spoke with Coach Reed, so maybe trying to bang a big play here as they're going to need it.
3rd down and 18 for South. In motion, Clark. They give it to Kurger. Kurger finds a little running room off the right tackle, gets it out over the 35-yard line, and a gain of about 7 there. But it's going to bring up 4th down and 10. Dragons going to have to punt this one away.
Yeah, again, he came off quick there, but again, Cooper line, pretty athletic. Got to him pretty quick. I think we got a timeout.
Well, Cooper's looking at the clock now and sees 2:52 left. They got a chance to get this ball in really good field position. And like you said, Steve, Dragons didn't really want to do this. One thing they wanted to do is at least string together some first downs and keep Cooper from getting a shot at a last-second score here. You know, if Cooper could get a last-second score here and go up 14-13, it's not just the 7 points. It's also all that momentum shifting to the other side of the field.
Yeah, you kind of feel it a little bit just in this last drive. The two best teams in the district, probably at least I think, are you know, I'd say the momentum's going to switch back and forth as the evening goes on, and hopefully right here that we can get a good punt and get them back. This would be a good time for a Cooper fumble off on the punt.
It's been interesting, Steve. I mean, you know, everything's a little wet out there, and yet we have not had a turnover in this ball game.
No, the kids have done a good job. Been a couple balls go through people's hands, but no turnovers.
Trying to see the numbers. Looks like Hendricks is one of the guys deep for Cooper. I'm trying to pick out the other one.
Number 8.
Yeah, Hendricks is 8, but can't quite make out the other guy. Looks like it might be 3, but I really can't tell. It's not going to matter. It's going to go towards Hendricks, and he is going to watch it go out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So South Oldham punts the ball away. Cooper will start at their 30. It looks like they'll mark it at the 32. First and 10, 2:49 left in the first half. South Oldham leading 13-7.
South Oldham defense here, you know, you look at times during the season, big plays or big trips in basketball. I believe this is a big possession here. If they get a stop here, like you said a minute ago, keep the momentum going into the locker room at halftime, could be the difference in winning district or going on the road.
Prickett bobbles the snap. He's going to have to fall on it back around the 24-yard line. And again, you know, as you said, we've had some bobbles, no turnovers yet, but that one's going to be a big one. That'll move them all the way back to the 24-yard line, a loss of almost 8.
South might get the ball back. I think might get the ball back before.
Yeah, they could.
For another possession this half.
Don't forget the Office Max halftime report coming up at the intermission. Office Max, where your success is our business. Prickett from the shotgun. Going to hand off this time. Cordell Armstrong being chased by Nick Bass, and Bass going to catch up with him at about the 30-yard line. Got a little help from a couple of his teammates over there. And it'll be 3rd down and long. It'll be interesting to see if South's going to choose to call a timeout here. And right now the clock rolling with 1:54 to play in the half.
Defense kind of gave a little bit there, but was trying to make sure. I think they were kind of trying to contain there. Did a good job. Put them in a hole right here with 3rd and 12.
1:42, clock rolling. Prickett in the shotgun, has the ball. Draw play, gives it to Cordell Anderson, and he's not going to get anywhere. Great play. Trying to pick up on the far side. I think it was Adam Clark. It was Nick Bass. That was who it was. And with 1:27 left,
we've got a timeout here.
We do have a timeout. Dragons will get the ball one more time here before halftime.
Yeah, that's defense did a good job, as we said a minute ago. Either way now, as long as they handle the ball, don't turn it over, then they can kind of control the ending of this half, and that may be what they decide to do, depending on where they end up with the ball. May just want to control it, try to get in the locker room at 13-7, and make their adjustments from there, and then come out in the second half. But I feel like the South has to be pleased with the first half. I know a lot of people, if you got online and read, thought that Cooper would come in and dominate this game, and so I think South Oldham's done a good job, and if they can just keep that going into the second half, then this would be a huge win for them going forward.
Well, you know, it's one thing that South really hadn't shown yet this year, Steve, and of course we don't know what the second half's going to bring, but this has been kind of a grinded out sort of game. You know, South's shown that they're really good at shootouts, and they can put points up on the board. But on a night when you're facing a really good defensive team, can you play defense and put enough points up to win? And so far, so good.
Yep.
Kick is out of bounds at about the 42 of South. So with 1:21 to go, South will have an excellent field position to start this drive at their own 42.
Talking about grinding it out, that's at South Oldham sometimes, that's in football and basketball, that's always been something that the coaches have talked about. In basketball, it took us a while to get, we were known as a shooting team, but kind of more of a finesse, and sometimes maybe not as hard-nosed. And over the years, we've tried to develop that, and I think our football team is showing that tonight.
McGee under center. Since Clark in motion, gives it off to Curriger. The Dragons trying to see what they can get with the ground game here. And they pick up about 4. See if South tries to throw a few body punches and then try to light it up deep.
Yeah, I was watching to see maybe if they still have a timeout, maybe if they take a timeout. So they may just, after we see this possession, we may know if they're just going to be content to get in with this 13-7 lead.
The Dragons with 2 timeouts. McGee back to throw, rolling to his right, fires underneath, pass is complete. I believe that was Thompson, yes, out to the 50, just a gain of 4 though. Stops the clock at 42.8 seconds. Dragons with a very manageable 3rd down here now. They're going to mark it at the 48. Did not get a very favorable mark there.
Yeah, it looks like Reinhardt was open deeper down the field. I thought maybe they may take a look at him, but I think McGee stayed with the safe read there and made the pass out there to the side.
3rd and about 4 here. Clark in motion. Play action. McGee looking over the middle, trying to get it to Reinhardt. He's got it at the 20. Reinhardt to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, South.
That was a great catch by Mr. Reinhardt right there. It was a good throw, but he kind of had to tip it and kind of pull it in with one hand. And big strike right there. Now they definitely going in halftime with the momentum.
52-yard pass to Reinhardt. And McGee has his 2nd touchdown pass of the ball game. 34.4 seconds left here in the half. Cook on for the PAT. Left-footed kicker moves into the ball, kicks it up, and the kick is good. South Oldham takes a 20-7 lead over Cooper. And Steve, what a big score.
Yeah, no, right there, I'm impressed with the coach's decision right there, to try to go ahead and make the quick strike. Sometimes the logical thing would be to kind of just grind it out there, as was mentioned earlier, but to take a shot at the end zone like they did. And this is really the first time that usually if I'm at these games, I'm talking, but this is the first time I've kind of really watched. That Reinhardt boy's a good receiver. He did a really good job there, and then he made a good catch there. So, again, get through the next 34 seconds and go in at halftime with a big lead.
And Steve, he's playing for a team that has had some really good receivers over the last 3 or 4 years. Jacob Lamb, Kyle Young, Dallas Culbertson last year, and Jamie just keeps finding them. And this year it's number 4, Ethan Reinhardt, and every week he seems to come up with something big.
Yeah, I don't know that it's finding them. I think the coaches do a good job probably of developing the receivers, and of course you have to have young men willing to work. But Reinhardt's not as big as some of those receivers you just mentioned in years past, but he's played with a big heart tonight.
So South now 6 possessions tonight, 3 touchdowns, 3 punts. A really odd thing here now, I'm looking here at Cooper's starts tonight. They've had 4 punts and a touchdown. 3 of their last 4 drives have started at their own 22. That's got to be a record. So Cooper looking like they're just going to take this into the halftime locker room, as they're not going to run any kind of play here. Just take the snap, takes the knee. 18 seconds left. The Office Max halftime report coming up here on the Pegasus Sports Network. Dragons going to take a big lead into the locker room as they lead the number 5 ranked Cooper Jaguars by a score of 20-7. Stay tuned. The Office Max halftime report. Look at the numbers is coming up next. This is the Pegasus Sports Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
At Office Max, your success is our business. Whether you're looking for a printer, office furniture, software, laptops, or simple office supplies, Office Max has it all in one convenient location at prices you can afford. Check out the Office Max Impress Business Center, where no job is too small or too large. They can help you with simple laminating or business cards, or help you put together that award-winning business presentation with their digital color printing, copying, and binding services. That's Office Max. Open till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, till 6 p.m. on Sundays. Office Max. Work with us. A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
Baptist Health Crestwood on Kentucky 329 is conveniently located approximately 1 mile from I-71. Baptist Health Crestwood offers outpatient physical therapy and diagnostic imaging services, including x-rays, CAT scans, digital mammography, and DXA bone density scanning. The facility also houses the offices of Baptist Medical Associates Crestwood. For more information, visit baptistcrestwood.com.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
It was a Friday night in Kentucky, and all across the state, streets were empty. Stores were dark. Restaurants were closed. Even the town squares, normally the center of the action, were silent and still. In most states, the sudden disappearance of a town's population would be cause for alarm. But this was Kentucky, and it was high school football, volleyball, and soccer season. The explanation was perfectly clear. This wasn't some episode of The Twilight Zone. It was game night.
At the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, we salute the players, coaches, and fans that make high school sports one of our state's proudest traditions. We invite you to be part of the action. High school sports, where greatness gets its start. This message made possible by the KHSAA and the high schools in this community.
I thought I was pro-choice. Then I saw government figures that say almost half of the 3,000 abortions done each day in this country are repeats. That means 2, 3, even 4 abortions for the same woman. Then I learned the Roe v. Wade court decision legalized abortion in all 9 months of pregnancy for any reason at all. Maybe being pro-choice isn't what I thought. It really got me thinking.
A message from Right to Life at KRLA.org.
And tonight's game is also brought to you by Daleco Land Management, Inc. right here in Crestwood. Give them a call at 445-3100. Whether you're like me, just a homeowner that needs some property taken care of, or maybe you're a business owner who needs your facade in front of your building to give a good impression to your customers. You know, Daleco can help you. They'll do everything from the design all the way up to the installation. They'll show you what they're going to do on the computer. They'll bring in their equipment. And, you know, the neat thing about Daleco is whether it's the greenery that needs to work or maybe it's the the non-greenery, the ice and snow, they can help you there too. Pre-treatment, snow plowing, snow stacking, ice control, all stuff that Delco can do for you. And this is not just anybody with a truck and a lawnmower. These are folks that have been in the industry for over 15 years. They're a member of the Kentucky Lawn Maintenance Association and certified by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture Division of Pesticide. Give my good friend Dennis Dale a call today at 445-3100. That's 445-3100. Delco Lawn Management, Inc. And welcome to the Office Max Halftime Report. At Office Max, your success is our business, and right now the success has been pretty much all in green here in the first half. South Oldham scoring first to get a 6-0 lead in the first period. Fell behind temporarily at 7-6, but two big scores on big plays, Steve, and the Dragons are up 20-7 here at the break.
Yeah, South's had the big plays tonight, and again, the quarterback and Carragher running the ball, Reinhardt with the big catches. Again, as I watch football games, you can just see I think South Oldham does a good job of studying the tape. The coaches break that down. They're up here. Most people don't realize this, maybe some of the parents, but they're probably up here 5, 6, 7 hours on Sunday afternoons. When I come up here, I see their cars here, and that preparation, I think, shows in big plays. I think the coaches do a good job of reading that defense and then calling a play that is unsuccessful. And without that hard work and preparation by the coaches, then that doesn't happen. So I think these big plays are not by accident. I think it's because of the preparation and the study that they did coming into this game.
Kevin Carragher over 1,000 yards now. He has 12 carries for 92 yards in the first half. Including one big play, a 53-yard run. But, Kevin has not been in the end zone here tonight. South Oldham has found other ways to get to the end zone. And Michael McGee, 5 out of 7 passing, very efficient tonight, has thrown 2 touchdown passes.
And ran the ball well. I don't know if you have the stats on that, but did a good job running the ball. Kevin Carragher has just been pounding that line sometimes for just a few yards till eventually they get it opened up for him to make the big run. And again, South Oldham has been the big play team tonight, and that has allowed them to open up the 27 lead.
Carragher with a 53-yard run. That was the longest run of the ball game. Michael McGee had a 38-yard run for a touchdown. And like I said, he also threw for 2 touchdowns as he's accounted for all 3 Dragon scores tonight. Ethan Reinert hauled in a 52-yard touchdown. That was the last scoring play of the first half. And Star Thompson had a 24-yard catch in the first quarter. The scoring going like this, it was kind of a back-and-forth defensive affair in the early going. The first 4 possessions yielded just 1 first down. The two teams had 3 and outs in those first 4 possessions. But right after that, the floodgates opened. The next 4 possessions yielded 3 consecutive touchdowns. And South Oldham was off and running. The Dragons with their first score, 1:24 to go in the first period. Star Thompson, a 24-yard pass reception from Michael McGee to make it 6-0. The kick failed, but it was an impressive drive for South Steve because the Dragons started that drive on their own 6.
Yeah, both teams have had some long drives, and South's offense has been awesome tonight. But looking and thinking back, the South's defense tonight, I think, has really come to play. Cooper coming in, like I said, that one kid had 195 yards last week, and they have really I don't know how many. We don't have their stats. I don't know how many yards he has, but I know that the South defense tonight has drew a line in the sand. It seems like from up here, and some of these bobbles that Cooper has had, I don't think it's because of the wet football. I think it's because of the pressure that the defense is getting on them, and as a result, then with the big plays that South has been able to establish and complete on offense, it's really been. I thought that was a really good half for South Oldham. I thought they played well on both sides of the ball.
Dragons 159 yards on the ground with Carragher leading the way with 92, McGee with 56. And then McGee through the air 5 of 7, 87 yards and 2 scores. Star Thompson had 3 catches for 26 yards, and Ethan Reiner 2 for 61, including that big 52-yarder. And Steve, that thing just, people talk about momentum. People hear me talk about it all the time. But speaking as a coach, what's it like to go into the locker room after that kind of a big play?
Especially in football, especially because everything's a play. Someone called that play from the sideline, whether it was Coach Reed or the offensive coordinator, and then the kids went out and executed that. It's like running a pick and roll. You call a play from the bench and you run it and you get a wide open layup. You can feel the momentum because the coach is excited as well. So someone made that call on that play, and then the guys went out and executed that to perfection. So not only do you have the momentum that gives you going in the locker room, but also the confidence that these players know that the coaches, through their preparation, can send in a play that will result in a quick touchdown like that. So I think you really can't measure how important momentum is going into, especially with high school kids. Now in the NFL, I don't know what you're dealing with there. I don't know if it has any, but I think in college and definitely in high school, when you're dealing with emotional kids, I think momentum is huge. And South will have, or seems to have, all that going in at halftime.
Now, keep in mind, Cooper will have the ball to start the second half. But, Steve, in a situation like this, you go in the locker room up 13-7, and the feeling is Cooper's still looking over your shoulder. Because all they need is a touchdown and the PAT, and you're behind again. Instead you're up 20-7, and now you got the feeling that, hey, everything's going my way. I think we're going to see a South team come out of here in the second half playing very loose and fast.
Yeah, and I think that really bodes well for the defense because I think they can take chances. When you're up 20 in basketball or 15 and you're pressing, taking chances, if you mess up and they get an easy bucket, then it's a little different. Same thing true with football. So I think South coming out here will really begin to put pressure on them. And again, I'm looking for a pick six here before the night's over. So
can we know who that is?
Well, no, I don't want to put that. I don't
want to
put that pressure on him. He talked about that today in class. So, but hopefully he'll be able to do that tonight.
All right, you've been listening to the Office Max halftime report, brought to you by Office Max and your local Office Max Impress Business Center. At Office Max, your success is our business. Stay tuned. Second half coming up right here on the Pegasus Sports Network.
At Office Max, your success is our business. Whether you're looking for a printer, office furniture, software, laptops, or simple office supplies, Office Max has it all in one convenient location at prices you can afford. Check out the Office Max Impress Business Center, where no job is too small or too large. They can help you with simple laminating or business cards, or help you put together that award-winning business presentation with their digital color printing, copying, and binding services. That's Office Max. Open till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, till 6 p.m. on Sundays. Office Max. Work with us. A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for business and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
Baptist Health LaGrange is the best experience expecting families can ever conceive of. We offer spacious, comfortable rooms, a dedicated team of nurses from labor to the time you go home, and a helpful maternity website to guide you through all the questions before and after baby's arrival. For more information or to register for free prenatal classes, visit BaptistHealthLaGrange.com.
And we're back in Crestwood, Kentucky, Dragon Stadium. The Jaguars coming back on the field. South Oldham already on the field here. The weather tonight has not turned out to be really much of a story here. The two teams have played pretty well despite the wet out there. And South Oldham coming back on the field. This is a team that has got to be feeling pretty good about itself, leading the number 5 ranked team in the state 20-7. And with us now for our second half, our second guest announcer tonight is Brad Stevens, the sports editor of the Oldham Era. And Brad, good to have you back up here. You're probably pretty happy to be up here right now.
Yeah, you know, after watching that first half on the sidelines, your invitation to come here for the second half was sounded pretty dandy.
You know, Brad, as you look back at this first half, you know, Steve and I talked about it. It was a game of big plays because really in a lot of ways there was a lot of similarities to both sides. At times it was very difficult to move the ball for both teams. Neither team really garnered a lot of first downs, but when push came to shove, South was the team that came up with some big plays. Both teams had one long drive. But South had these drives where they came up with some really big-time plays, and nothing any bigger than that big pass play there near the end of the first half, 52 yards to Ethan Reiner for the score.
And that's something we talked about the other night that South wanted to get more of, was those big plays. They, the first 3 games of the season, they were getting those 50, 60-yard touchdowns. In the last few games, that hasn't been happening. So to come out and have a 24-yard touchdown pass, a 38-yard run, a 52-yard pass, have another 53-yard run. I mean, they're hitting those big plays, getting those big chunks of yards that can, then start to rack up some points on the scoreboard.
And by the way, Steve did want me to tell everybody that this was planned. That I really I didn't kick him out of the press box here. We had kind of had planned that we do a little tag team here tonight. Get Steve up here, talk a little basketball as well as football, and then bring you up here in the second half.
Well,
so I am going to compare ratings, though, to see if the first half and second half, which does better.
You know, I'm sure Steve's coached long enough that he's had parents that maybe wanted to come down and coach the second half before, so maybe guess I'm getting the chance to do that tonight, pinch hit for a little bit.
If you've ever coached, you've made a few people angry, no matter how many games you win. It doesn't matter. But you look back here at this. This is obviously a big game for both these teams. Cooper could just about clinch the regular season crown in the district if they could come back to win this one. On the other hand, South makes this a whole new ball game in terms of the district race. And Brad, I think you've gone through some of the scenarios. You know, Cooper will be very heavily favored next week, so you got to figure that Cooper is going to probably finish. If they don't win tonight, if they lose tonight, they would probably finish 3-1. South Oldham will be 2-1 if they can come up with this win tonight. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. We've still got a whole half. Their path is a little tougher because they still have Scott High to play.
Yeah, exactly. That makes this game all the more vital for South, especially maybe not just to win the district outright, but just for the home playoff game to start the playoff on the road as opposed to having to travel to Anderson County or Franklin County or somewhere to start your playoff season, which isn't ideal for anyone.
Of course, Connor is still in the mix right now. I think mathematically. Now, I think a lot more would have to happen for Connor to win the district. I think they would have to win it on a tiebreaker. I don't think they could win it outright. But again, it's going to be interesting. If South goes ahead and wins this game, the district is completely up for grabs. 1 week to go.
Yeah, it would behoove the Dragons to win this game regardless of the results the next few weeks.
So the two teams went to the wrong ends of the field, so the officials will get them to switch here. It's interesting, 22 guys all went to the wrong end. No South kid went north to the north end of the field. No Cooper kid went to the south end. They all went to the wrong end of the field. South will kick off here to start the second half. Looks like Kendricks will be deep for the Jaguars. standing on about his own 5-yard line. Drew Cook set to kick this thing off for South Oldham.
Special teams be big in this second half, especially seeing what the weather does.
Cook boots it deep. Hendricks will take it right on the goal line, and they'll let him bring it out over the 10 to the 15. Tries to sidestep a couple of the defenders and is ultimately brought down just shy of the 20-yard line. Clayton Reardon in there for South Oldham to make the stop, along with number 19, Shane Wilson.
Big defensive series here for the Dragons to start this, get a 3-and-out, start this second half off right, and give the ball back to your offense, who's pretty hot right now.
If you don't count the final possession of the first half, Cooper had the ball 5 times in the first half, punted 4 times. Prickett hands it off. Running around the right side, is that Hendricks? It was Hendricks on the end around, and Cooper with a little bit of a trick play there as they move it around the end for the first down. They've been using Hendricks.
Yeah, he's an athletic guy. Looked like he had experience hitting the hole for a receiver.
Yeah, he's a quick young man. I don't think we've seen his
Wildcat here.
His fulls. We get the Wildcat, and again they're going to hand it off to Hendricks. And Hendricks out over the 40 is going to be just shy of the first down. And, I think this is a smart play on the part of Cooper, not just the Wildcat formation, but you're putting the ball in the hands of a guy who, at least from up here, looks to be one of the best athletes on the team.
Yeah, and I think this is probably something maybe they planned on saving this for the second half. They didn't really show this much in the first half, so you come out to start the half and run 2 plays in a row like that. Nope.
It is going to be a penalty against Cooper. Going to be a holding call, so that one's going to come back. Well, it's been working for Kentucky, hey.
Right. Must have watched that game the other night, got some ideas from it.
I'm kind of like a lot of people here. When you look at the Wildcat, it just doesn't look that hard to defend, and yet it is. It's not an easy thing.
It throws the defense off because they're used to looking for the quarterback and then the running back.
Fake to Hendricks. The quarterback's going to take off with it this time. It's going to be first down and more, and he may take this one to the house. The Dragons are going to finally drag him down. A flag flies on the tackle, so there's probably going to be some more yardage tacked in.
Yeah, just like you were talking about, the Wildcat, he took it up the gut, and he was 10 yards before he went and touched him. And then a missed tackle by a South defensive back at about the 50-yard line, wanted to get another 30 yards.
Yeah, and this I'm pretty sure is going to go against South. Nope, they're going to pick it up. So 1st and 10, Cooper. Ball right at the 20-yard line. Cooper, good drive going. They send Hendricks in motion, and they'll try to take it right up the middle. Tony Hale right there to make the stop instead. Cordell Armstrong goes down for a loss this time.
Yeah, I think he may have made the wrong read there. If he handed off to Hendricks, might have had something on the outside. But it's kind of the zone read thing you see a lot of college teams do out of the Wildcat, and that time we'll take Cordell Armstrong. Probably should have given it up.
And again, Cordell Armstrong in the Wildcat here, sends Hendricks in motion. This time he hands it off to Hendricks, and Hendricks is buried on the far side by Connor John. Never even got a chance to turn it upfield that time, as Connor John was there for another tackle for a loss. It'll be 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, and maybe that time he should have faked the handoff and taken himself around the left end. But nice play by Connor to get in pursuit there and make a tackle on the edge.
So 3rd down and 12. Cooper just outside the red zone now at the 22-yard line, staying with the Wildcat formation here. And again, the motion. Cordell Armstrong will take it himself and swarmed under. Austin Greenrose in there. Connor John. Looks like Tyler Covington. All in there to help make that stop. And It'll be 4th down and long, about 4th and 8 from the 18.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I know the Wildcat work to get you down the field, but when you have 3rd and long like that, and you have a quarterback as good as Prickett is, I would have been tempted just to go back to your regular formation and make a play all the throwing the ball with him.
Yeah, now you're in a bit of a spot if you're Cooper. Prickett back in at quarterback. 2 wide, both sides. Retreats, has time. Fires, and did he catch it or not? He did catch it. Now, was he inbounds or out?
I think the ball hit off his hands, it looked like to me.
And it's going to be incomplete. Wouldn't have been enough for the first down anyway, and South Oldham takes over on downs.
Yeah, nice stand there by the South defense to adjust to the Wildcat, and then force that 4th down. And then, like I said, they went back to the pass. I think they did that a play too late. Probably should have done on 3rd downs to wait until 4th.
So South Oldham will take over at their own 18-yard line. 1st and 10. 9:19 to go here in the 3rd period. 20-7, South Oldham on top here. As the Dragons come out for the first time here in the second half. McGee sends Cormanis over to the left side as they overload the left side of the line. In motion, Thompson. They'll give it to Kevin Curriger straight ahead, and Curriger muscles his way out to the 20, and that's about it. Curriger has been over 100 yards in every game except one this year, and he's just 6 yards away from the century mark tonight.
Yeah, imagine he'll get that mark again this evening. They'll probably, I imagine they'll keep going back to that 2 here with the lead, maybe try to run some clock, but also, off that play, run some option and keep doing some working with McGee running the ball.
Well, and I don't think you can get too conservative though at this point. I mean, it's there's still a long way to go in this ball game, and you're playing such a good opponent. McGee hands off into the line and fighting his way forward. Curriger gets a couple, maybe 3, out to the 23-yard line. Well, the best analogy I can come up with when I watch Kevin Curriger and this South offense is body punches. They just keep hitting you between the tackles over and over. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 2, he gets 1, and then he goes for 53.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then the inside of the interior line's doing a good job blocking for that tonight.
McGee, short drop, fires. Reinert was wide open and actually ended up being closer to the defender.
Yeah, probably past Michael want to have back if he maybe let him a little bit more. Reinert was running kind of an out route there, and if Michael hits him in stride, that could be a big play. But throw is behind him and high and good way to get the receiver killed if he had turned around and jumped for it.
Chad Michaels was probably in better position than Reinert to where that ball was thrown. Hayden on to punt this one away, gets away a nice kick here. Cooper still will get this in good field position. Hendricks over the 45 to the 49-yard line and swarmed under there just shy of midfield.
I think that was Drew Hobbs got there to the long snapper went down there and made the tackle. Nice hustle by him.
Daniel Propp also in there on the stop for South Oldham. But Cooper starts this in great field position here. Brad, this is best field position they've started on in this game. They spent most of their possession starting around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and let's see if they can kind of get back down there in the South Red Zone, maybe take advantage of it this time.
High formation behind Prickett. Under center, has the ball, hands it off to Cordell Armstrong, straight ahead into the line, into the South Oldham side of the field, and finally brought down by Hunter Hamilton there.
Yeah, they'll keep giving it to Cordell Armstrong, too. I like the way he runs. He's got some explosiveness. He's also good between the tackles.
Well, one of the things we noted in the first half is he gets it into second, third gear very quickly.
Yeah, he really does. He and Hendricks both seem like they have a good burst once they get going.
Again, Prickett under center. Again, gives it to Cordell Armstrong. Tries the right side. Finds a little running room. And he's down to almost the 30-yard line. They'll spot him somewhere around the 30, and that'll be a first down, Cooper.
Yeah, looks like they're going to keep going up the middle with Cordell Armstrong. They're down 2 touchdowns, but it's the time of the game where you don't have to worry about trying to save clock or anything. You just run your offense and And this is how Cooper's can get back in the game is by putting the ball in his hands.
First down and 10. 2 wide to the left side. I backfield behind Prickett. Keller is the fullback. Cordell Armstrong, the tailback. Prickett trying to get things set up. Doesn't like what he sees, and Cooper's going to have to call a timeout here. Timeout Cooper with 6:41 to go here in the third period. South still up by 2 scores. It's the Dragons 20, the Jaguars 7, and we'll be back to South Oldham High School Dragon Stadium right after this on the Pegasus Sports Network.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
As we come back to action here, Cooper going to pitch it back to Cordell Armstrong. Tries the right side, goes around the end, gets good yardage. And again, Cooper with a good first down play. Picks up, it looks like it's going to be about 6 is where they're going to spot him.
This is the area of the field where South made their stand on, or South made it stand on that last drive there. So be another big stop for them if they get it on this one.
Second and 3.
High formation behind Prickett, and again, the Cordell Armstrong gets a call, but South, Tony Hale leading the charge there, and the Dragons not going to give any ground that time. Also over there, Drew Hobbs helping out. It'll be third down and about 3.
Yeah, Drew Hobbs and Tony Hale wrapped him up, and Connor John came in from that linebacker spot and finished the job. Good gang tackling there by the Dragons and forced a third down.
Well, and South has a nice little rotation on that D-line, Brad, especially since Trey Mills is back. They're able to keep some really quality linemen in there. From the shotgun, the Wildcat, and Cordell Armstrong brought down by Trey Mills, just shy of the 20-yard line. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, I think Austin Greenrose got in there too and helped out, and maybe was the one that pulled him down. Got him just short of the first down.
So on fourth down and less than a yard, Cooper's going to stay out there with their offense. 5:28 to play here in the third period. It's been a scoreless third period so far, but Cooper has moved the ball.
You can go under center this time.
Prickett back in there. High formation. Long count.
Yeah, don't jump if you're South.
It's going to be the quarterback keeper. Prickett easily has the first down, and the chains will move.
That could be an effective play in high school football. You don't see maybe a run as often as it should be as the quarterback sneak in those kind of situations, because a lot of times the teams really aren't expecting it, and if you get a nice push, that's a 4 or 5 yard gain, when a lot of times you hand off maybe only 1 or 2.
Well, they'll get it down to about the 17.5-yard line, make it the 18. Under 5 to play here in the third. Cooper has dominated this third quarter here. They give it to Armstrong, and he's going to fight his way down to about the 12.
I imagine that Dragon defense is probably starting to get a little bit fatigued right now, having to be on the field so much here in the third quarter and having the ball pretty much ran right at it on every play.
Well, this is time of possession very, very much on the Jaguar side here in this third period. They've had 2 long drives now. South just had 1 3-and-out. Cordell Armstrong is your tailback. Wideouts both ways for the Jaguars. And they'll give it to Cordell Armstrong, trying to run left, and South Oldham's going to plug the holes pretty quickly there. Lots of green jerseys in there. Austin Greenrose, Trey Mills.
I think Tyler Covington might have been Tyler Covington or Tony Hale. One of those two on the defensive line were the ones that kind of busted up that side of the left side of the offensive line and stopped that run.
Third down and a long 5 for Cooper. Going from right to left. They'll send Hendricks in motion from the Wildcat. Handoff is to Hendricks. Hendricks with some running room, and he should have the first down as he knocks down the first down marker just inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. It'll be first and goal, Cooper.
Yeah, again, they run that play, and Hendricks, I like him running to that right side. He's an athletic kid, and South looked like they had the play almost made, but he was able to reach across and show some good field awareness and reach for the first down.
Well, and they've run him the same way every time, Brad. They've run him from left to right in motion every play.
That makes me wonder they may try to do some kind of fake off that.
Again, going from left to right, Hendricks. They fake it to him. Cordell Armstrong takes off on the run. Cordell Armstrong into the end zone.
Flag.
This one's going to come back. The flag's sitting about the 9-yard line. It's going to come back.
Number 56 for Cooper has got a lonely look on his face. I think they may have got him for holding.
Well, and as a coach, that just kills you because this is a case where points come off the board.
And tonight they've really been calling a lot of holding, a lot of illegal procedure. The refs have been very letter of the law tonight, very strict, and it definitely changes the game as you see there. Takes 6 points off the board for the Jaguars.
Yeah, and if you're Cooper and you don't get points out of this drive here now, that looms large because that could have pulled them to within one score here, made this an entirely different ball game. They'll come back out in the Wildcat formation. Hendricks in motion from left to right.
There's your play.
Fake it. Cordell arms the back, and they'll throw, and there is nobody who's going to be able to come up with that reception there. Cordell Armstrong streaking to the end zone. Kind of a little wheel route there off the fake. And I didn't notice whether our cameraman picked all that up or not, but that was nicely done except for the pass. The pass just wasn't right there.
That was the fake we were talking about. You hand to Hendricks going right, and then you have Prickett coming back left. Perfect position to throw that ball, but wasn't a good pass. And Cordell Armstrong didn't have much separation on the route anyway. Good discipline play by South.
Prickett back to throw now. Has plenty of time. Now here comes the rush. Tony Hale coming after him. He's hit by Hamilton, but he hits his man. Touchdown.
I was about to say it was almost a coverage sack, but the coverage finally blew at the last minute there.
And Michaels, the man in the end zone, he was standing straddling really the goal line there. And with 3:22 left in the third period, Chad Michaels gets Cooper back up on the board. How many yards did you have for that?
I had 19 yards. I think it was a second and 19 there for the Jaguars.
Cooper can cut it to 6, but the flag comes flying. Offsides against South Oldham is the call. South Oldham is...
I imagine they'd move that on the force down the kickoff, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do.
Mitchell Hollifield, the kicker, a sophomore. Right-footed kicker. Can pull Cooper to within 6. Chad Michaels with the 19-yard pass reception from Pritchett has pulled his team back in the ballgame. High snap. The kick is up. Looks good from here, and it is good. 20-14. Cooper right back in this ball game after the touchdown. And see if the Dragons can regain some of the momentum when we come back to action here in Crestwood. You're watching the Dragons on the Pegasus Sports Network.
No one wants to spend the season on the sidelines. Whether you're a high school athlete or a weekend warrior, there's always potential for injury. That's why the sports therapy experts at Baptist Health LaGrange and Baptist Health Sports Medicine are standing by to help with injury prevention and treatment. We are also the proud provider of complimentary sports medicine services for all Oldham County high schools. For more information, call 222-0598 or visit BaptistHealthLaGrange.com.
20-14 as the Cooper Jaguars have fought right back into this ball game and getting set to kick this one off. And Brad, you were saying, you'd be tempted almost to just try an onside kick here.
I would. Nope, they're not going to do it.
Dragons are going to take it at the 14. Star Thompson sidesteps a defender and is wrestled down at about the 23-yard line, and that's where the Dragons will start, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and my thought on that was that you were getting an extra 5 yards anyway because of the offsides on the extra point. They've been kind of pooching the ball all night, so not really getting a ton of yards in the kickoff, and plus you've really dominated offensively in the second half running the ball, so you already have the South defense tired. So I would have at least entertained the thought, maybe tried one. Not really a ton to lose, but of course I'm up here not coaching.
Well, South has run exactly 3 plays from on the offensive end this quarter. Wishbone formation. McGee pitches back to Thompson. Thompson is wrestled down almost immediately. Might have fallen forward for a yard.
Star hadn't run the ball very much tonight, has he?
No, third carry for 7 yards.
Yeah, they've almost used him more as a decoy, which last week we saw him. He was probably the MVP of that game at Grant. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the second half.
Dragons come up to the line looking at 2nd down and 9. McGee with Kurger behind him. Clark and Thompson on the wings. They'll give it to Kurger. No, McGee keeps it. McGee out over the 30 to the 35, and he's got the first down.
He's so good at what he does there, which is just put it in the belly of Kevin and act like it's gonna be a handoff. Had the whole defense fooled and really ran almost kind of off left guard, kind of down the middle of the field and got a nice gain there.
We do want to give a few kudos to our cameraman who's out there in the drizzle. Kevin Montgomery working the camera, trying to give you the pictures. Every now and then you'll see the lens get covered, and that's him trying to clean all the water off it. McGee, short drop, right side, complete to Reiner to the 43, and spun out of bounds at the 46, and there will be a flag there. Little extra hit or a late hit. Reiner had the first down, picked up about 11, but they're going to add about another 15, I believe, if I'm correct on this.
Well, he did that right on the South Oldham sideline, too. The Cooper defender made the late hit on Ethan right in front of all the Dragons coaches and players, and as soon as that happened, the ref threw the flag pretty quick. And so that puts it in Cooper territory.
Yeah, that's a big 15-yarder. The Dragons have been hit with a lot of penalties tonight, but now Cooper giving them 15 yards all the way down to the 40-yard line of Cooper.
Yeah, both sides here having to overcome some flags.
McGee under center, short drop, pump fake, fires deep, looking for Reiner down the sideline, and he can't quite come up with it at about the 10-yard line. Not a bad throw, but Reiner just couldn't quite come up with that pass.
That was well defended there by number 81, Tyson Jackson. You could tell he was looking at Ethan the whole time. I think he didn't fall for the fake. Probably something he's seen on film, knew how to defend that play, and did a good job with it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. This is a pretty good Cooper squad we're watching here, and defensively, they're probably going to be even better next year. 9 of the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Cooper are juniors, and one of the other 2 is a sophomore. Only 1 senior on defense for them. Handoff into the line. Oh, it's a fake. McGee's going to keep it, and he goes forward for about 5.
Yeah, again, that's one of the big weapons tonight for South has been McGee on that run. Now, obviously, it comes to point 2 where you don't want to get him hit too much, but I think he's only had 6 or 7 carries tonight, so that's probably a good number for him. Enough to keep the defense in check, enough to him to stay healthy and make some plays.
Yeah, 5 carries, 72 yards. How about that for an average?
Yeah, that's efficiency.
Yeah, he's made the most of his 5 carries tonight. 3rd down and 5 now for South. Ball at the 35-yard line or just shy of it. On the Cooper side of the field, McGee goes under center. Hands off, and Kurger's just going to get stacked up well shy of the first down. Might have picked up a couple, and that's about it.
It's an interesting formation there for South. I don't know if you noticed that they had their 2 wingbacks. They had Clark and Thompson both on the same side. I thought they were going to maybe try to do something creative with that, but it was just kept up the middle.
Yeah, it almost looked like an old single wing formation.
Right, yeah. They may have been trying to set something up for later in the game.
4th down and 3, and it looks like the South offensive unit's going to stay on the field here. Final minute of the 3rd period, 40 seconds, clock rolling. Jack Skeeters to the left, Reinert to the right.
Keenan John,
No,
I
it's Keenan John. No, wait a minute. Yeah, it is. McGee. And looks like Cooper is going to stuff this play as McGee is not going to find any running room. Cooper will hold on downs, and the Dragons will give it up.
Yeah, they faked a handoff and then kind of faked a pass look, and then McGee was going to take off on the run on the left side, and well disciplined by Cooper there. Kind of knew it was coming. Probably knew it was either thought Kurger was going to run or McGee was going to run, and they prepared for both and got McGee.
Well, it's tough to run a play like that there in that situation because you know the defense is coming, which you don't have a whole lot of time back there to do what you're going to do. Cooper from the Wildcat. They'll give it off to Hendricks, running around the right side, and he's going to have the first down all the way out to the 45-yard line and out of bounds there with 12 seconds left here in the period.
Yeah, Austin Greenrose came tearing up the middle on the blitz, and I guess he thought that Cordell Armstrong still had the ball and wrapped him up and made a big, made a really convincing hit. But it was Hendricks had the ball and got 12 yards.
Well, Cooper has owned this period. They've cut the lead down to 6. This may be the last play of the third period. Cordell Armstrong in the Wildcats, going to keep it this time. Takes it out over the 50 and into Dragon territory at the 49, a pickup of about 7, and that'll be the final play of the third period. 20-7 is your score. The 20-14, excuse me, is your score. South Oldham with the lead. 1 quarter left to play, and we'll be back to South Oldham High School right after this. This is the Pegasus Sports Network.
You give 110%. Baptist Health Sports Medicine's group of physical therapists, athletic trainers, a neurologist who specializes in concussion management, and sports medicine-trained physicians go just as hard to get you back in the game you love. Our facility at Baptist Health East Point features private treatment rooms, a physical therapy gym, indoor turf field, and other indoor sports training facilities. No matter what your level or your game, to get back to your best, consult the best. Call 253-6689 or visit BaptistSportsMedKY.com.
We come back to South Oldham High School and Dragon Stadium. Brad, you got any scores for us?
Let me give me just 1 second here. Last I saw, North Oldham 40, Wagner nothing. We got Anderson County 36, West Jessamine 0. Looks like Bullitt Central 14, Bullitt East 7 in the third period. My Clark County Cardinals losing 14-7 to Lafayette. Some finals: Ashland Blazer 48, Sheldon Clark 8, Pikeville 43, South Floyd 0, Connor 34, Covington Holy Cross 8, Mail 24, St. Xavier 7, Paintsville 22, Fairview 14, and as far as not seeing a whole lot else.
Right here, we're going to start the fourth quarter with what else? A penalty.
Of course.
Flags come flying. I think the Dragons will be the ones guilty of the penalty here. Let's see. It is second down and about 4 for Cooper. And let's see what this penalty does. They're going to say false start. So apparently Cooper moved first. The penalty against Cooper will make this second down and 9.
Yeah, Cooper's been the one kind of helping out South the second half with the penalties there, and that one they pretty much negated that nice run that Cordell Armstrong had on first down.
So back to the I formation goes Cooper. Handoff to Cordell Armstrong, and he is going to be swarmed under in the backfield. Austin Greenrose leading the way there for the Dragons, and he ends up getting the tackle there. Did he get back to the line of scrimmage? No, he's going to lose about a yard. About to the 45 is where they're going to spot it. So it'll be third down and 10.
Nice play by that side of the South defensive line. We got 74 in there, Nick Bass in there, some of those other guys. Hunter Hamilton made him go the other way, and that's where the rest of the defense, Greener, and those guys were waiting.
How about Hunter Hamilton last week with the INT, a defensive lineman's dream. Back to pass, Pritchard. Looking is hit as he throws, but he completes the pass.
Nope, bad drop.
Incomplete.
Bad drop there. Although In fairness, Prickett waited about a second too long to throw to Hendricks over the middle. But yeah, Hendricks was wide open. 12 yards downfield would have had a first down.
Well, I tell you, looking through this glass tonight is a little difficult. So on 4th and 10, Cooper's going to have to punt it away. This game's pretty much anybody's ball game here now. Just a 6-point lead for the Dragons with 11:17 left, but they're going to get the ball back here. And it's going to go out of bounds on the punt. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be around the 25. In fact, it'll be right at the 25. That's exactly where they're going to mark it.
Take over. 1st and 10.
Yeah, here's your chance here for the offense to kind of get back in control of this game. Maybe get a few first downs, get drive sustained, and go down for a score.
Well, the Dragons really didn't get much going there in that third period, so hopefully they can get something here. You know, whether they get a score or not here, Brad, I think getting some first downs and taking some time off that clock would be beneficial. At least change the field position
Absolutely.
here. McGee hands off, Kurger off the left side, and just not much there out to the 27, gain of a couple.
And I know that Kevin's had a good night rushing. Of course, he got all yards that one run, but for the most part, they've contained that inside running game for South. Most of the bigger plays have come on Michael's quarterback keepers. They've done a pretty nice job with Kurger overall. Although he still probably has over 100 yards by now.
Yeah, that carry actually put him over 100 yards
Okay,
at
yeah.
101. But of his 16 carries, 9 of them have been for 2 yards or less. So you're right. Cooper's really done a good job on those inside runs. In motion now, Thompson. They fake it. They did give it to Thompson. He's going to take it around the right end, trying to find a little running room, and gets it over the 35. Out to the 37-yard line. That'll be a first down.
Thought South could pop there for a late hit, but they didn't call it. Good blocking by Adam Clark there, the wingback on the outside. Kind of set the edge and took what probably would have been a 4-yard Star Thompson gain into an 8-yard gain and got that first down. Or I guess they're giving him 11 yards on that.
Yeah, it's ended up being about an 11-yard gain there. 18 yards for Starr tonight. He's only carried the ball 4 times. Dragons up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 now. McGee goes under center, sends Adam Clark in motion this time. Hands off to Kurger. Kurger fighting his way forward. Kurger in the clear. Kurger at the 30, the 20, and drugged down from behind inside the red zone. Another big run for Kevin.
Kurger ran a man over there to get down. He broke one tackle and then broke a second and really turned on the Jets. I didn't think they were going to catch him, but nice play by one of the Jaguar defenders to not give up on the play and bring him down at about the 15-yard line of Cooper.
53-yard run.
It's a second of those tonight.
38-12. No, excuse me. 47-yard run.
Okay. Adam Clark.
Clark around the left side. His first carry of the game inside the 5. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
He tried to walk the tightrope on the sideline. He just about kept that foot in and got in the end zone. But either way, it's a first down at the 4-yard line.
And that's good for another South Oldham.
So Dragons with a couple of first downs here.
9:39 left on that clock.
Well, I'll tell you something now. Knocking on the door here, a big touchdown here would really put the Dragons in the catbird seat. In motion, Thompson. They'll give it to Kurger. Kurger fighting forward. It's not going to quite get there. May have picked up a yard or 2, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's the guy they're probably going to go to in these kind of situations is Kurger. Good goal line runner, and may end up seeing another couple of attempts at that.
Well, I love the Dragon offense inside the 5, and the reason I love it is because Kurger is such a weapon between the tackles. You've got to stack the middle of your defense against him, and that just opens it up for McGee on the quarterback option around the end, Thompson on the sweep, Clark on the sweep. It gives them all kinds of options.
Absolutely.
McGee under center. Fakes it. Throws to the end zone and incomplete, and probably just as well because that wasn't going anywhere. He tried to get it out there to Kurger in the flat, and that probably works better for South if that one went incomplete.
Yeah, someone on the South offensive line didn't hold their blocks long enough, and Michael didn't have much time to really gain his footing and step into the throw. And, yeah, like you said, Kevin actually kind of slipped and fell at the 4-yard line, so the play wasn't really going to go anywhere either anyway.
An alert play there by McGee to keep, give his team a chance there and keep from getting the sack. In motion, Clark. They'll pitch it to him. Running left. Clark to the end zone. Clark dives. No call. Touchdown. 2 yards out. And Adam Clark puts the Dragons on the board.
Clark is good in those goal line situations, especially running to his left. And that play there, nice blocking by the offensive line. Star Thompson with a nice block outside. We saw Adam block for Star a few plays ago. That time Star blocked for Adam and got him into the end zone.
Only his second carry of the game for Adam, but he gets him into the end zone with 8:46 to play in the ball game. Cook for the PAT. Good pressure there by Cooper, but this one's up, and this one is good. And just like that, the Dragons with a 13-point lead again here in Crestwood, 27-14. And we'll be back to Crestwood right after this. This is the Dragons on the Pegasus Sports Network.
It's the same story at high schools all over Kentucky. Players compete, referees officiate, fans cheer, and character counts. At the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, we'd like to remind you that sportsmanship is just as much a part of high school sports as the action on the field. As players, coaches, officials, or fans, we're only as good as our best behavior. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the KHSAA and the generosity of this station.
Score from Goshen, Kentucky now. Homecoming for North Oldham High School. The Mustangs not having any trouble. North Oldham up 40-0 last we heard from Goshen. Here it's 27-14. The Dragons trying to pull off the upset tonight over the number 5 ranked Cooper Jaguars, and right now up by 2 scores with 8:46 to play. And right now, if you're South, you got to be feeling pretty good about your chances.
Yeah, big to get back up by 2 scores. See if the defense can make a play now.
Drive deep here. Hendricks takes it at the 5, cuts it up at the 20. Now straight up the middle of the field and is brought down around the 28-yard line for South Oldham. Trying to see, I think that's Clayton Reardon again on another special teams play.
And Connor John got in there too. It's you don't see a lot of teams that use their defensive star to bust up wedges on special teams, but South does, and Connor got down there and I think grabbed the runner's ankles and let Clayton get in there and finish him off.
1st and 10, Cooper. Ball just shy of the 30-yard line. Nobody in the backfield with Pritchett. He's going to roll to his right now. Here comes the pressure from Hunter Hamilton. He's going to run him out of bounds. They'll knock him out at about the 36-yard line. A good gain there. Connor John ultimately came over to push him out of bounds, but not until Pritchett had a 6-yard gain.
And that may have been a play. If that had been on the Cooper sideline, that may have got called a late hit. He was out of bounds when he got hit, but they didn't call it there.
Well, Prickett has been very, very versatile tonight. Throws the ball pretty well for the most part. Certainly a solid runner.
Yeah, they got some athletic guys on that offense, that's for sure.
Prickett going under center this time. Hendricks wide to the left side. Also number 81, Tyson Jackson. Let's send the fullback in motion now. Pitches back to Cordell Armstrong, and he's going to be taken down quickly. Getting in there was Tyler Covington to make the stop for the Dragons, and not much of a gain at all. It'll still be 3rd and 4 for Cooper.
I think Tyler's made several plays in there tonight. Guy that's always active from that defensive end position, and good against the run and the pass.
Well, he's very well suited to that position.
Mm-hmm.
He's big and he's fast.
Right.
And just a kind of a prototypical defensive end. And the give is to Hendricks. Hendricks around the end has the first down to the 50, has a blocker in front of him, and the Dragons, Connor John and Ethan Reiner, are going to try to drag him down, and finally South has him at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, some downfield blocking. I would think Adam Clark wasn't quite able to get off the block from number 48. That would be
it's a 40-yard
Sam
gain.
Keller for Cooper made a nice block downfield and kind of sprung Hendricks another several yards.
Yeah, he ends up being a 40-yard gain down to the 24-yard line of South Oldham, and suddenly Cooper knocking on the door again. You got to think if you're the Jaguars that you pretty much need a score on this drive. Still 7:44 left, but you need 2 scores. And they'll give to Cordell Armstrong. Left side down to the 22, maybe the 21-yard line.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what Connor John's tackle count is up to. I think that he probably has to be double digits by now. Made the tackle again that time by himself, pretty much dragged down the ball carrier. Looked like he was maybe on the ground too, so an impressive play by John.
2nd down and 7. It was Cordell Armstrong from the Wildcat, but we do have a flag here. This play is going to get stopped before it gets started. It's probably going to be a false start, against Cooper. So a 5-yard penalty will make it 2nd down and about 12 here.
Yeah, once again, Cooper really helping out South the second half with a lot of penalties. Jaguars have gotten the better of the play, it seems like, but because in large part because of the penalties, it's been pretty much a 7-7 game in the second half. Wildcat again.
Yep. Cordell Armstrong sends Hendricks in motion. Going to take off himself. Boy, he hits a hole quickly. 20 and down to the 15 and knocked out of bounds. In there to make the stop was Jax Mays for the Dragons, but all the way down to the 13-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. Cooper.
It's been kind of curious decision by Cooper here to go almost exclusively to the Wildcat in the second half because they had some success moving the ball, with Prickett under center, but they've gone, pretty much 60-70% of their snaps this half have been with the Wildcat, and they're getting some pretty good yardage from it.
Cordell Armstrong again in the Wildcat formation. Hendricks off to the left side in motion from left to right. They'll fake it to him. Cordell Armstrong straight ahead and down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, at this point, the interior of the Jaguar offensive line is really starting to blow back the South defensive front. There's I think they pushed about 5 yards downfield that play. Luckily, South's linebackers are getting up there making some plays and keeping them from busting off some real long runs.
Jaguars have controlled the clock here in this second half. Time of possession dramatically in their favor. And there again, Cordell Armstrong trying the left side out of the Wildcat, cutting it up ahead inside the 5 and finally forced back. Going to be pretty close to that 1st down marker.
I think they're going to give him maybe 2 yards, or they can put about the 5-yard line exactly.
So it'll be 3rd down and 2. Down at the south end of the stadium here, the Dragons trying to come up with a defensive stop with 5:40 to play in the ball game. And this time they do give it to Hendricks, and Hendricks is into the end zone for the score.
Aiden Delph, the center there, was walking all the way into the end zone. Once again, the Cooper offensive line was in control on that drive, and he allowed Hendricks pretty much walk into the end zone unfettered.
Hendricks a 5-yard run, and now the PAT getting set here. Hollifield. Right-footed kicker is up, and the kick is good. 27-21, and Cooper right back in this thing again. That missed extra point now, Brad, looming large. South's defense is going to have to hold.
Yeah, these big games always come down to special teams, and then that was a big play, the missed extra point. So, yeah, gonna be up to the Dragon offense here, I think, to put another long drive together and get down at least in field goal range, if not another touchdown.
So 27-21 is your score here. South Oldham trying to hold on here in Crestwood. Tonight's game also brought to you by The Coffee News, that little brown newspaper you can find at just about every restaurant in Oldham County. The Coffee News with the horoscopes, the stories, the trivia, just something to occupy you during your lunch hour. You see everybody reading these things, whether it's a Taco Bell or Beef O'Brady's, El Tarasco. They're everywhere throughout the county. And, you know, they also have these ads from these local businesses reaching out to local people. And give them a call today. Find out how you can be part of the Coffee News. Call my friend David at 797-7828. That's 797-7828. One of the neat things is, whatever you do, if you advertise in the Coffee News, you'll be the only person like yourself in that. If you build houses, you'll be the only house builder in there. If you sell cars, you'll be the only car salesman. So give them a call today at 797-7828. That's the Coffee News.
Kick goes out of bounds, and Southson gets some good field position to start off here. Another Cooper penalty really costing them.
So South will start at their own 35-yard line. McGee under center here. Wing T formation. In motion, Thompson to the right side. They'll hand off to Courier, trying the right side of the line there. Not a whole lot. Gets it out to about the 37, and that's it.
Let's look at some other scores here. Paintsville 30, Fairview 22. Louisville Holy Cross 41, KCD 13. Looks like we have Western 19, Doss 6. Russell 31, Mason County 7. Shelby County 27, North Bullitt 20.
McGee under center on second down and a long 7, almost 8. And they give it to Courier again, fighting right side and gets it out to the 43-yard line. Gain of 6. Yeah, Courier has carried the ball 8 times here in the second half, Brad, but that's only the second carry he's had of more than 3 yards here in the second half. Cooper, like you said earlier, has done an excellent job bottling him up.
They have, for the most part. It's been those two. I think he totaled 2 yards on the 53 and the 47-yard run, total 100 yards on those. That one of the big differences right now in the game.
3rd down and 2. Good manageable 3rd down for the Dragons, and it mixed up. McGee found himself all alone, and the Dragons now going to be looking at 4th down and 5 as that play just didn't work.
Of all the times to have that happen, Michael turned to his right to start an option play, and everyone else was going, up his backside to the left, and he was standing there all alone and got tackled by about 3 guys. And a great job by Michael hanging on to the ball and not letting that turn, from a bad play into a disaster.
Yeah, but the Dragons are going to go 3 and out here. Hayden back to punt for South. Dragons could use a good kick from him here. He gets a line drive off, but it's going to take a Dragon bounce, and it's going to keep rolling inside the 10. The Dragons are going to be able to down this down at the 3-yard line. Shane Wilson gets it down there.
The South is furious right now. They think the ball glanced off Hendricks. Hendricks was chasing after the ball like it had touched him on the roll, and he was like scrambling to get on it, and Shane Wilson got on it first, but they're going to call it down, and they're going to say it's Cooper ball. They say it didn't touch Hendricks. Close call. That's something. I couldn't really tell from up here. Of course, we have some rain on the window kind of blocking our view.
Yeah, I'm like you, Brad. I really thought that he touched it. South Oldham fans not real happy right now, but Cooper, regardless, is going to start in a bad field position. Ball at about their own 5-yard line. And the handoff to the tailback, Cordell Armstrong, and he is going to get spun around and driven backwards.
Connor John once again.
Yeah, Connor John came in there like a monster and just absolutely drove him backwards. They'll mark him down at the 3. A loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be
2nd and 11.
Well, let's see. The down marker on the far side looks like 11, but
they gave him forward progress at 3. I thought maybe him back at the 1 or the 2.
Yeah. Quarterback draw, gets it out over the 5 to the 6, and that's going to be about it. South Oldham covering things up pretty well there. Again, number 5, Connor John, right in the middle of everything, along with Trey Mills and Nick Bass.
Yeah, Cooper backed into their end zone, backed into these situations. They need someone they trust with the ball, and they're going with their tailback. They're going to the Wildcat, and they're going Cordell Armstrong, at least on that one.
Important for South just not to give up the big play here. 2:36 clock is becoming a factor, and Cooper, down by 6, is 92 yards away from pay dirt. Prickett back to throw now, has time, fires, and
intercepted.
Adam Clark comes away with the first takeaway of the game.
Huge. Oh, my gosh. That's a throw over the middle. Adam was right there, but just when there's another defender there, too, and it's pretty much anyone's ball. Adam, who's had a big offensive touchdown tonight, comes through and makes a huge interception to get his team back the ball back.
Well, the first takeaway of the ball game, and the Dragons will start at the 34-yard line after the big INT. First and 10, Dragons. McGee with 2:23 left in good field position here. South would like nothing more than just to string together a couple of first downs and kill this clock. Kurger off the left tackle down to the 30-yard line to pick up a 4.
And off to number 29, Kevin Kurger. Brought down by number 58, Kyle Sand. 2nd and 6.
Clock rolling here as we approach the 2-minute mark. 2:02, 2:01, 2 minutes left here. South will take plenty of time in between plays here. Looking at a 2nd down and 6. Reinert wide to the right side. Don't really expect McGee to be throwing the ball, though, right now. Star Thompson is the wing to the left, Clark to the right. Now Thompson in motion. They'll give it to Kurger again, trying the right side of the line, and he'll crash down to about the 27-yard line.
And off to number 29, Kevin
Cooper's can go ahead and use the timeout here.
26, Justin Parks.
Gain of about 4 on the play as we do get a timeout now. Cooper with 1:34 to play in the ball game.
3rd and 6, timeout Cooper.
And here's a huge play coming up right here for the Dragons. You get this first down, and you can just about put this thing on ice.
Yeah, and at 3rd and 3, you've got a real manageable situation here. A lot of options available to you. And it would not be surprised at all to see the Dragons fake something to Kevin and then maybe go to the outside. But let's see here what the choice is. Again, you've got a lot of options. And honestly, I think at this point, Brad, this is 4-down territory for South. I think even if they don't get it, I think they go for it just to kill the clock, whether they get it or not.
Yeah, with these conditions, I can't really imagine them attempting a 40-yard field goal. So I think that. They'll run the ball here, try to take some more time off the clock. Even if they don't get the first down, they can set up a nice 4th down, hopefully. I'd be surprised seeing them go anything but Kurger up the middle right here.
Tight formation for the Dragons. Reinert is wide to the right side. 1:34 showing on the clock. Cooper has just 1 timeout left. Chandler Moody over to the right side as they overload the right side of the line now. And they'll go left with Kurger. And there's going to be the first down. Gets it down to about the 21, and that one may have just clinched this game for South.
Yeah, how about a nice play call by Jamie Reed there, overloading the right side of the line and handing off to Kevin going over the left end, and that should just about do it.
Gain of about 5, and the Dragons with the first down. And with 1:27 left, Cooper can stop the clock just one more time. Hunter Hamilton out over the football for the Dragons. McGee under center, sends Reinert to the left side this time. And he'll give it to Kurger. Kurger trying the left side, picks up 5 down to the 16-yard line. And Cooper will take, I believe, yes, their final timeout of the ball game. With 1:07 left, 27-21, South Oldham trying to salt away this victory here in Crestwood.
And then Kevin's a guy they trust here to hold on to the ball. Obviously, that's a huge priority right here is to not give the ball away in any kind of fumble. Kevin's a guy they trust to get some yardage and hold on to the ball.
And, the Dragons Well, and Dragons and Cooper, for that matter, have gone through the night without much in the way of turnovers, just the one, but that was such a big one as Cooper pretty much threw away the game there with that interception at the very end.
I'm looking right here. I thought Cooper had one time I left. Turns out that I've any. So
that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
I imagine South will take a couple of knees here and get out with a big district win.
Mm-hmm. Dragons will wrap up district play next week here at home against Scott High, and that's not going to be an easy game. As Scott High's been in and out of the top 10 rankings all year, so that will be a challenging game. But win here tonight puts the Dragons right back in the conversation for the district regular season title. All you got to do is hold on to the ball. 27-21, McGee under center. He will roll around and just run around a little bit around the left side there. It goes down about the 18-yard line.
So yeah, that's a little bit of a curious decision there. I'm sure you want your quarterback kind of scrambling around when all you have to do is take a knee, but no harm. He got down.
48 seconds. Again, Cooper cannot stop the clock. And the Dragons will run one more play and just take a knee here and salt this one away for the 27-21 win.
That's what they should do.
29 seconds as McGee comes up to the line. 25. This will be the final play of the game. They will hand off. Kurger will take the handoff and gets down to the 16, picks up a couple of yards, and the final 16 seconds will run off the clock. The Dragons improved to 2-1 in the district play, 5-2 overall. They hand Cooper their first district loss tonight as they drop the number 5 ranked Jaguars 27-21. And the game is in the books as the clock hits zeros. 27-21, South Oldham wins it. We'll be back to Crestwood right after this. You're watching the Pegasus Sports Network.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
You know, I used to be pro-choice, and then something happened to me. I had a baby of my own. When I was pregnant, I finally realized that all this little kid was trying to do was make it, just like all of us. So I haven't figured it all out yet, but why, when I wanted the baby, it was a baby, and when I didn't, it was something else? Think about it.
A message from Right to Life at KRLA.org.
At OfficeMax, your success is our business. Whether you're looking for a printer, office furniture, software, laptops, or simple office supplies, OfficeMax has it all in one convenient location at prices you can afford. Check out the OfficeMax Impress Business Center, where no job is too small or too large. They can help you with simple laminating or business cards, or help you put together that award-winning business presentation with their digital color printing, copying, and binding services. That's OfficeMax. Open till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, till 6 p.m. on Sundays. OfficeMax. Work with us.
You give 110%. Baptist Health Sports Medicine's group of physical therapists, athletic trainers, a neurologist who specializes in concussion management, and sports medicine trained physicians go just as hard to get you back in the game you love. Our facility at Baptist Health East Point features private treatment rooms, a physical therapy gym, indoor turf field, and other indoor sports training facilities. No matter what your level or your game, to get back to your best, consult the best. Call 253-6689 or visit BaptistSportsMedKY.com.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney on behalf of RAD. If you're drinking, you can't drive my car or any car. And remember, don't drink and drive. It's just not worth it.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Everybody loves high school sports. Want to get back in the game? Want to be part of the action? Want to be the go-to person, the voice of authority?
I'd love to, but I graduated in 1996.
Hey, you're never too old to be a high school sports official. Officiating is a great way to get in the game, stay in excellent physical condition, and make a few extra bucks. And it's a whole lot of fun, too.
Did somebody say make a few extra bucks?
To learn more about becoming a high school official in your community, call the Kentucky High School Athletic Association at 859-299-5472. That's 859-299-5472. Or learn more online at KHSAA.org. Think of it as your first official call. You'll be glad you made it. This message brought to you by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the generosity of this station.
Well, back one final time to Dragon Stadium in Crestwood. 27-21. You see the water still accumulating on the camera lens as the rain continues to come down here. Not too hard, though, and very impressively, both of these two teams did not seem to have too much trouble with the rain here tonight. Only one turnover in the ball game, and that the interception on Cooper's final possession. The Jaguars trying to make something happen there and get back in the game, and they have a turnover, and South Oldham salting away the 27-21 win over the number 5 ranked Cooper Jaguars. Looking at the game tonight, a lot of times it resembled a couple of heavyweights. The first half largely dominated by South. The second half largely dominated by Cooper. Both teams had their moments, but in the end it was South Oldham's big plays that made this game go their way. Some big touchdowns on some big plays from start to finish. Dar Thompson, a 24-yard pass reception for a score. Michael McGee running 38 yards for a touchdown. Then threw another touchdown pass, this one for 52 yards to Ethan Reinert. Only the last touchdown that South had was a more pedestrian sort of play. Adam Clark with the winning score, as it turns out, a 2-yard run with 8:46 to play that gave South a 27-14 lead. Cooper would come back to score one final time and make it close. A 5-yard run by Hendricks that made it 27-21, but the Dragons would get the big punt from David Hayden. They put Cooper in a hole, and then Cooper with the interception to give the ball back to the Dragons, and the Dragons able to run out the clock. We're going to very quickly go through the numbers here. The Dragons led tonight statistically by Kevin Kurriger and Michael McGee. Those two, both with some solid games tonight. Kurriger, 25 carries, 178 yards. He's over 1,100 yards on the season, well on his way to a season with about 1,600 yards rushing the ball. Had a couple of big drives or big runs tonight. In fact, he had 100 yards on 2 carries, a 53-yarder in the first half and a 47-yard run in the second half. McGee, a very solid night running the ball himself, averaged over 8 yards a carry. 8 carries, 67 yards for the senior quarterback. He scored one of the Dragons' touchdowns on a 38-yard run. Star Thompson, 4 carries, 18 yards tonight. Adam Clark, 2 carries for 13 yards, and he scored a touchdown for the Dragons. Connor John, who always gets about 1 carry or 2 in a ball game, carried the ball one time tonight for 5 yards. Through the air, the Dragons just under 100 yards tonight. Michael McGee, 6 of 11 passing for 98 yards. Split is receiving between Ethan and Starr. Thompson had 3 catches for 26 yards. Ethan Reinert, 3 catches for 72 yards and a score. That was the 52-yarder just before the end of the first half, and that was a huge momentum boost for the Dragons. Really helped stake them to enough of a lead to hang on in the second half when Cooper outscored them 14-7. So South Oldham improves to 5-2 on the season. They improve their district mark to 2-1. Cooper falls to 2-1. Now some interesting play in the final week of the district season to see who's going to end up taking the regular season crown. Connor is 2-1 after winning tonight. Cooper 2-1, South Oldham 2-1. So it's a race to the finish. Dragons with a challenging final district game next week against Scott High, but they do play that game right here in Dragon Stadium. Pegasus Sports will be on the road next week to Middletown, Kentucky, as the Oldham County Colonels play the Eastern Eagles. We'll be going on the air at 7 o'clock in that game. Kickoff of Oldham County versus Eastern at 7:30. That'll about do things from here from Crestwood, Kentucky. A rainy Dragon Stadium. The Dragons with the big upset tonight. They defeat Cooper 27-21. From our partners Steve Simpson and Brad Stevens tonight, I'm Mike Montgomery. Good night.